9. Welcome to session 9. This is session 6, and I've written 5, haven't I? I've written 5. Session 6.
Is it really?
Maybe it's session 5. Maybe it's 5.
Okay.
Let me double check.
The episode 4 came out
I think
today,
it's 6.
so I thought we were on 5. Oh my god.
Okay, let's see. You might be right. You're right. This is 5. This is 5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've just been my brain. My brain doesn't work today.
Oh, that's bad news, Austin.
What? What's up?
We're gonna need to use that old brain.
We gotta do something? What do we gotta do?
Oh dear, it's not looking good.
It's not looking
How would
good.
you like to? How would you like to explore the American Girl doll catalog, which is what Janine and KB and I?
Yes,
ended
I
up
saw
doing
that.
yesterday.
I have that
Oh my
saved
God.
to watch as I pack on the rest of this week.
I did not know what American Girl dolls were,
Ah,
and
I
it
see.
was
Oh, wow.
a. KB
Excited to
saved
watch.
they are characters from history until the very last moment, and let me tell you, it was a great final act twist to realize that this
fun.
is the Great Depression doll.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, you saw them all before knowing that? Or are you saying that was a
No,
reveal
no,
before
no.
you? I see.
Before we even went on the website.
I thought perhaps you'd seen them all, and then at the end, KB was like, "And they're from history."
I have like a very distinct memory of one of the like first times I visited New York with my family. My aunt looking everywhere around the city to get a specific American Girl doll for my cousin and being
Wow.
super stressed out about it the entire fucking time. Very weird.
That feels like a classic Like that's anytime American Girl doll has been in my life, in the periphery, or in the focus.
Stress.
It's involved stress and someone being like, I gotta get the one. I'm looking for the one. I don't care about the other ones. I care about the one. And
I'm here to get Molly. Or
Right,
I'm here to
exactly.
get Stephanie.
Exactly.
I don't know if Stephanie is one. I think she might be.
I bet she is.
Law of averages. Like, yeah.
Yeah, come on. There's gotta be a Stephanie. Yeah, there's a Stephanie. I found
By
her.
the way, can I just say our new icon on the Twitter really reminds me
so
of
good.
the cover for the new My Chemical Romance single, and it makes me very happy.
Oh.
What's the,
The
single
purpley
called?
one?
Yeah, for Foundations of Decay.
I see it.
You know, I genuinely
I
was
see
like,
it.
who changed our icon to that?
It's very funny. It's very funny. Time that is.
Let's
Do it.
35. All right. Welcome to Friends of the Table, an actual play podcast focused on critical world building, smart characterization, and fun interaction between good friends. I'm your host, Austin Walker. Joining me today, Keith Carberry.
Hi, my name is Keith Carberry. You can find me on Twitter at Keith J. Carberry, and you can find the Let's Plays that I do at youtube.com/runbutton.
Sylvie Claire.
Hey, I'm Sylvia, and if you want to hear more of me, you can listen to my other podcast, Emoji Drum 2.0, on any podcatcher you have.
There we go. You got it.
Yeah,
I know it was
any
touch and
of
go
them.
for a little bit in terms of learning
Yeah.
the new
No,
2.0
I'm-
stuff. You crushed it.
I'm a professional.
No doubt. Jack DeKeat.
Hi, I'm Jack. You can find me on Twitter at NotQuiteReal and buy any of the music featured on the show at notquitereal.bandcamp.com. I looked through the emoji that they're about to add, Sylvie, and I'm
Ooh.
very excited for them to add the goose.
Oh my god.
They're adding a goose
This is
emoji.
a live reaction. I have not heard of this. Holy fuck.
Wow. I can't even look at it because my computer doesn't have it. The emoji, there's an emoji PD. Oh, it's a draft page because it's not actually in. I see.
I went on a date recently that involved tips on fighting a goose, actually. So, just came up.
Oh.
Are they good? Were they
Dope,
good
right?
tips?
Yeah, just grab it by the neck.
Yeah, that's a
Oh,
good
it's a
call.
massive sure. weak spot.
Yeah.
I don't know what. Yeah.
Yeah. It's
Honestly.
literally massive. It's literally massive. You know,
Yeah.
it's not
Yeah.
just spiritually massive to the goose. That's most of the
Yeah.
goose.
Apparently, they just kind of go limp.
Yeah, I would.
I-
Wouldn't you?
Yeah. From experience, yes.
It is
And
not-
Ali Akampora.
Hi. You can find me over at Allie_West on Twitter. You can find the show over at Friends_Table. And to Jack's point, I believe this Friday is Bandcamp Friday on the 2nd. So
Oh yeah, it
go
is.
to Bandcamp.
Yeah,
Go
I'll
to
try to
Bandcamp.
put this in the feed early enough that people can do that.
Yeah.
I mean, go to Bandcamp on any Friday, but especially on Bandcamp Friday.
I will. They have stopped doing
Right.
Bandcamp Friday every first Friday of the month.
Right, it's like
So
quarterly
I don't-
now or something, right?
Okay.
It's something. like
asking. I don't-
quarterly,
I
or
don't
maybe,
know.
Maybe it's every other month, which might actually be quarterly. I don't know how many months there are in a year.
12.
But I recommend Bandcamp Fridays as a way in which all money, except a little bit for payment processing, goes directly to the artists, and it makes a real difference.
Oh, I fucking
It's
bet.
extremely cool. And there is always good music to pick up on Bandcamp. I guess it's worth saying that I ran the numbers a while ago, and if I had put the music for Friends at the Table on Spotify based on my current rates of listening, which are pretty good, I would be able to pay 1 month's rent in 9 years' time.
Cool. Yeah.
So,
So is that why it's not on Spotify? Because of how it's
so that is why I'm not. I
Prime?
think it is fundamentally exploitative.
Yeah.
Yes.
Uh-huh. Yeah. But Jack, every little bit adds up.
Go fuck yourself.
But Jack, you'd be exposing new people.
All right. Well,
As always,
let's explore
you
the
can,
Twilight Mirage.
you can directly support the show by going to friendsathetable.cash. If you're hearing this on the main feed and there was like previously on or a cool intro, that is because we did a bunch of work to punch it up after we originally recorded it months ago. And this particular game was always public because it was a benefit or bonus, an incentive for our National Network of Abortion Funds live stream back in July of 2022, because I have no idea when this episode will actually be in the feed. It might be in 2023. Who knows?
July of 2023.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you like what we do, so make sure to support us. That is the best way to collectively give us cash. I've seen people say recently, I saw some folks say like, oh, I wish y'all did more merch because I prefer to support people via merch, and merch is not the way. I think maybe was that in one of these streams that someone mentioned that, or was it a
I
different?
think it was last week.
I think it was, yeah. So just to reiterate that, as much as I love doing merch does not pay the bills, unfortunately. We don't move that step. We don't move quantity, All right. Speaking of moving product, what's happening on The Brink?
I think the sad thing about the merch is that we did move quantity. That's what's so
No,
infuriating.
I mean, Keith, we did, but we didn't. Like, we did,
Well, okay,
but we're not moving
Sears.
Hollow Knight. We're not moving
Right, oh, yeah,
Undertale.
yeah.
We're
Yeah,
not
yeah,
moving
yeah.
Critical Role,
But I literally don't know how many shirts that we sold or whatever.
Yeah.
But if I told my aunt how many people bought our shirt, she'd be like, "Oh my
Yeah,
god,
but that's the same
crazy.
as but that's just the same as like. That's the thing of like, oh, you have 10,000 followers on Twitter. That's infinite followers because it feels like infinite followers
Okay,
because
but
there's no way to turn off the fucking faucet. But it's also no followers. You're not touching
Right.
the culture, until you're at
what
a
what I
million.
said last time we talked about this was like, if you take the amount
Yes, we should
of
have.
money that the
Yes.
shirt costs and
Yes.
multiply
Yes,
it by
yes,
how many
yes.
shirts we sold,
You
that
would
is a
think-
big number.
You would think it would put money in pockets, but
Right.
Yes.
But it didn't.
There's 8 of us.
There's 8 of
Or
us.
7
There's 8 of
of
us.
us.
But
or
even,
whatever, so,
account-
yeah.
even
No, listen,
accounting for
it's-
it, there's 8 of
it's-
us.
I mean, with some of this merch, there's 9 of us because Nick gets paid off of Hiron stuff
Oh,
still,
yeah.
which is good. Which is I want that to be happening. That's not an error, So anyway,
Also, I want to say I really like the Hollow Knight merch.
Yeah,
I'm
it
not
fucking-
a Rush person,
I
but
have
that
some.
game rules,
I got
and
some
a
right
lot of
over
that
there.
Merch is really great.
Yeah.
That game's got style.
it does.
It does have style.
I'm excited for that sequel. All right,
Yeah, me too. One day.
stop belly aching about merch rates and Spotify, and instead, we should.
The divine arbitrage.
That's right, baby. What's up? What have we done recently? Let's take a look at this chart. The devotion Okay, things last time that I recall. Let's go back. Was this we discussed the war situation, Shield, Ghost, outside tracking algorithm. Yes. Arbitrage convinces
think
Mustard to use the outside tracking algorithm, but Morning seizes her computer. 3T takes a break from war assemblages and gets recruited by CTH to join the devotion retreat. Deutsch is nearly caught planting a bomb by Mustard. She escapes, but only having her cover blown by Joe DeVive. That was definitely last time. The devotion retreat begins. Paris and Fresh Fruit use radio station to send a message to the ship carrying Fresh's missing kid. Qualitative fruit. 3T rouses a crowd at the retreat, quote, creating scapegoats and corrosive arguments about those on the brink who are being careful and tactical about how to engage the Principality in war. Pushy discovers that the Divine Devotion has been making the Mirage bombs and has a wild vision from Devotion featuring an ominous threat, quote, if you reveal this information, you will fail because you don't love me enough.
The war, you will lose the war.
You will. Oh, that's not how I read that at the time. That's interesting.
That's how I read that. How did you read it?
I read it as, like, you will fail in your attempt to undermine me. The thing you just said is way worse.
Yeah. I mean,
yeah.
This is a nice retcon, but the vision of a burning planet that Pushy had for me was absolutely like the Mirage is going to get wiped if you let on that I'm doing this.
Yes. That to me is more interesting. Let's go with that. My much more low key threat of just like you'll fuck up is not as interesting.
I have to say that the father who has a kid is called False Fruit, not Fresh Fruit, but I do like that name.
Oh, did I fuck that up? Is it fresh? It's false?
Yeah, it's false.
It's false fruit.
Fresh Fruit. Fresh is a really
Fresh is my cousin.
I was gonna say Fresh is his cousin or his spouse or.
I kind of let it roll over me the first time you said it. I didn't really notice.
Fresh Fruit.
Fresh fruit.
False fruit's very funny. Yeah, there it is. False fruit.
Some people call him Harry Styles.
Holy.
Sorry.
Fuck him up, Sylvie.
Oh boy.
Let's move on.
Listen. People's interiority, etc. Mustard interviews.
This is something that I don't know about.
Yeah, Keith, you don't worry about it. I knew you wouldn't. Mustard interviews people at the retreat and learns about Devotion's mission.
Thanks, Allie.
She's kind of into it. Keith, you're just incredibly offline in a way that I love for you.
You just have blinders on about.
You're immortal. Like, I bet you don't even know about the Raytheon girls who code.
Raytheon.
Oh my
The
god.
Raytheon girls who code, did you say?
Raytheon.
I had to tell Keith who Caroline Caraway was.
Right,
like, last
sure.
week.
Wow.
No, that wasn't me. You told me about who she was 2 years ago.
Okay.
Was
Oh,
it
I
Lucas
see,
who
I
did
see.
It was
that?
Lou. Yeah, that was.
Oh,
Lucas.
okay, fair.
Right, that makes sense. Girls Who Code and Raytheon Technologies launch pilot program. It's cool. It's good.
Which that was put in the Palisade chat, right?
Oh yeah, instantly. I think I did.
Just wanted to make sure.
Did I actually put
no,
that there?
You did.
Okay,
You did.
Okay. Good.
Under the cool forks thing.
Yeah, right. The fork things
Wait,
is
the Cool Forks? Let me see the Cool Forks.
Yeah.
I feel like I must have seen it but not internalized it. Let's see.
Oh, the
Oh
first
yeah,
was
this
great.
machine makes forks in a really.
Yeah.
This machine makes forks in a weird way.
Such a weird
Not
thing
in
that
the
Woody
way
Guthrie
you would
wrote on
think.
his guitar.
This machine makes
forks.
People kept saying, "Woody, aren't you a folk musician?" And he kept like nodding, and they'd be like, "Wait, your guitar." You know what I say? This machine makes forks in a really weird way. Oh, this land is yours.
Off to we're punchy tonight, folks.
I can't believe I missed this very funny joke by Googling Raytheon girls who code.
Okay. So those are the things that have happened. Our current threats: hundreds of military starships are using a nearby moon as a staging area. Resolved.
We have unfortunately gone to war as a result of that resolution. But
Yes. Residents have been disappearing, emerging days later as new members of a strange cult. Still active. And 3, a huge shipment of blue oranges has pushed the brink to the brink. There are too many people to safely house, to keep well fed, etc. An interesting thing that came up via a conversation in, group chat that I'm in. It's actually a Discord that I'm in. Someone, I think unrelated to Orbital, was just wondering about guns and the Twilight Mirage. And it made me think about how guns have happened on this ship. Because we have seen there was a shootout between Lament and rival, Gimme Gimme, is that right? Yeah, Gimme Gimme, the rival spy from the Pact, and there was an assassination. And when we last saw the Twilight Mirage, there were very rare guns. Cascabel could make guns, pretty often. We had a number of characters like Kentucky's Corona who would use like single shot pistols and then dispose of them. Like you draw a gun and shoot it and drop it, because the Mirage and Choir would have like made roses, sprout from its barrel after you shoot once, or just make it explode in your hand or whatever. And there had been New Earth Hegemony research into guns, but you may recall that was what the Calcium story was all about. And then that got stopped. And I want to say the Rapid Evening had some unique stuff by the end of the Twilight Mirage, but like here's me also saying we will continue to spoil Twilight Mirage and Partisan, and maybe even Counterweight as we play today. Keep that in mind, etc. Yes, I actually just saw that, Alexi, that we're still on the title screen. Let me pull you over to the actual Miro board, which again, just shout outs to Jack Harrison, who made Orbital, for setting up this excellent Miro board. It's so good to use. So yeah, I don't know what the state of guns is here. Has 500 years been in 500 years, has that been walked back? Or
does a certain divine capable of doing strange things with the Mirage and people's pulses recognize the insidious value of devoted people being able to have guns? Like, is there an extent to which something, we've talked about how you described it as like things are working in ways that people aren't expecting. Something is odd with the Mirage around here, and there's the implication that it's to do with the proximity to devotion in some way. Has that divine also had thoughts about, hey, maybe it's a good idea if people can wield weapons here for love?
For love. Yeah, for love. Go ahead.
I think like something about it, like the way it interprets it is like there's many forms of devotion, right? And being willing to kill and die for something is a form of that, and so it's able to be shaped into that sort of form. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There's a sort of terrible openness to it.
Mm-hmm.
What was the original mechanic of the destroying guns?
After the Miracle of the Mirage, Choir made it so that guns didn't work anymore. Guns would break upon use. And people in the chat are saying after Choir, at some point guns started working again. Because Choir died, but I don't think that's... I'm checking, but at least through the finale, guns was like rare enough that it was a special resource that y'all had. No, yeah, I see here. Wait.
Checking the tape.
Here's Dre saying, sure. I'm sure the word has gotten out that fucking guns work again. So I guess guns work again.
Okay.
Yeah,
apparently. So I guess the way that they had these guns is that they bought them at the gun store. They bought them at the gun store.
Yeah. The Twilight Mirage never really figured out how to do. The Choir Collective never really, did anything with guns. There was like guns, sure, why not? That's certainly true. No, I bet that even though the world could no longer stop them from being fired, they nevertheless probably did try to restrict usage and ownership in some ways.
In fact, they probably went like, well, this is there is even more of a duty for us now to actually think this through, since the world won't do it and with us.
Yep. There we go.
But everybody's getting shot on the... Well, 2 people are getting shot. Several people are getting shot on the brink right now.
right now? Are you suggesting a new
no.
scene?
I mean, no. Gimme. Knighton was
Yes,
stabbed.
Knighton was stabbed, and then, but there was a gunfight, so yes.
Yeah. Oh, and I think that maybe Morning's assistant, General Morning's assistant, got shot. Maybe.
Yes.
Right, that is correct.
Yeah, I forgot to add that. Yeah, that was the last.
Oh,
thing
we should
that
add that.
happened.
We should add that to the thing.
Yeah.
And you add a new. You just copy the last one and then delete what it says
Oh,
here.
okay.
Yeah, cool.
Thank
Go
you.
ahead and just type it
I
in
got
there. Thank you.
Ooh, that. Why is my font so big? What?
Just double click and type. It'll get small as you type.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Sorry. I use Miro for work, and so
No worries.
it's-
I'm glad someone here knows how to use it well.
Look at our timeline completely journeying off outside of the playable space.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
well-
a nice visual representation of how we play games differently than people that
Yeah.
play games.
We have exited the realms of the illustrations.
we're gonna get to this board I put way over here
Oh.
to be like, well, that's way out of the play range, so it's fine.
God, let's make this board like a character, and if we reach them, that character arrives.
Is this timeline part of the Miro board, or did
Yep.
we just have this
Nope,
idea?
part of the Miro board.
Okay, so yeah.
I suspect what we were supposed to do is just drag some stuff down and just loop it, but it's fine. Or make them tinier than this. It's fine. So, who would like to start with a scene? We are all back here. Again, we can frame a major scene, narrate a minor scene, or read the station.
Oh, wait, before we do, there is another thing that has happened, and I'm going to need some help remembering it.
Yes.
Isn't Cheel, like, connected to the vines in a really weird way? Like,
Yes.
help me out here, Keith. It's like the Guardian Ghost is, like, actually the vine plants or something?
Yeah, I think that I've talked about it as if there was some disaster that happened with the first garden, and that it was either Cheel Pushy's fault or it was blamed on him. But he does have this sort of growth of vines that, like, hangs around with him and does also sort of act on its own in Cheel's interest, it seems like.
Right. Right.
But we haven't talked about, like, what any of that is about.
Okay, cool. It is able to operate computers, I think, because it
Yeah.
deletes
It deleted
footage.
footage for you. Yeah.
Deleted footage it knows about online.
God, fuck, the plants know about online.
Oh,
Oh boy.
what a loss for the plants, honestly.
Yeah.
This retreat is still ongoing. I feel like we had a mustard sequence. Oh no, we did the mustard interviews, right? Was
Does
uh-huh.
she's kind of into it mean she's kind of into the interview?
No, she was kind of into
cult?
the cult,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Is that right?
She was slipping a little bit at these meetings and checking her pulse and it's
Right.
going poorly.
Right. You were connecting to it for lots of established reasons, is what I guess I would say.
Yeah.
Who else is at the retreat right now besides me and Mustard?
I'm here, 3T's here, and then Toaster Roaster and Kenshin Engine. It was like dozens and dozens of people, right?
Okay. My memory was that Paris and Deutsch were coming.
There was a thought about trying to get everybody there. I mean, one place to start would just be not there, because we do have to get the Paris and False Fruit connecting with the kid scene. The going to get the escape pod, but we can also save that as like a fun sting at the end of this first round. But then, yeah, who else wasn't? Deutsch wasn't here.
I was busy killing.
You're busy killing.
Queen of
Yeah.
plans, Deutsche
Yeah.
Synchro.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Number one smooth
Plans-
talker, great at disguises.
Plans to what end? Nobody knows.
Not even her.
Oh God.
Do we remember what I did after the
I believe we cut there, didn't we? You didn't. You like weren't captured or anything, but you didn't like
No.
leave the. You didn't
I
leave
have
the
a vague
retreat.
memory that I left. I don't know if I did, but I have sort of this like feeling that I got so freaked out that I left.
Mm.
But we could just say that I didn't,
Or we could just say that you did.
or we could say that I did. Yeah. I don't know. Is there someone I can run into?
You could run into me
Okay.
because you have very dangerous information, and I am a broker.
Okay.
I'm a resourceful information with the connections to get what you need.
It could be fun to have a sequence of Pushy going to Paris while Paris and False Fruit are trying to like get to a ship to go recover Fruit's kid.
Like a walk and talk.
Like
to
a walk and talk
to
interruption where it's like, you're already juggling a different thing, you know? And now here comes Pushy talking about some wild shit.
Yeah. Have we even have Paris and Pushy had a scene together?
I think we've
Yes.
been in scenes.
Paris tells Deutsch about the new... No, sorry, no. Deutsch is not Pushy. I keep forgetting Chiel is your first name. Yeah. Paris
No,
finds
not
Stowaway. It's funny, though. This is the shit for... If you check chat real quick, if you do a search for Paris, it highlights all the places Paris's name is. Do you see this? This is how Miro is good, actually. Night into
I keep
Deutsch.
getting emails from Miro being like, "Here's what
Yeah.
your team's got up to this week." And it's just this game.
It is what we're up to.
Paris
Yeah,
met
it's true.
Mustard. Paris gathers 20 Brink Proxer
I don't think we've
volunteers.
been in a scene together.
Not yet. There's nothing saying you couldn't know each other,
No.
though. I guess you don't have a pre-built bond, but Paris is an information broker, right?
Yeah.
I bet you've needed...
Mostly actually a fruit and vegetables broker, but I think on the brink, that's
Right,
you know.
right. Yes.
Yeah. People, you're the source. People know you're the source.
Yeah, you're the source.
Yeah.
If you need something, you'll usually find me in the night markets.
except now you find me pushing through the night markets with a very anxious false fruit on the way to like
Fresh fruit. Sorry, it's so funny.
fruit. A very anxious fresh fruit. Yeah. On the way to like Bluebell Dock or whatever to get a ship out into into like presumably into no man's land between the brink and
And Palisade.
yeah.
Which is very far away, but ships go fast, and we're close enough. We're close enough in this window in terms of where the brink is. So,
And sorry, False Fruit's the parent of the lost.
Yeah,
Correct.
an Orchard Guilds person.
uh-huh. Which is to say, could be connected to
Oh, this is really fun actually because
to
False
devotion.
Fruit could be connected, but is also like deeply anxious.
Yes.
And their mind is on something else.
Uh-huh.
And this is going to be an interesting test of yeah.
So, what do you say when you show up to Paris?
I think that I'm like startled, still stunned, like confused. I've been told not to give information, and I don't think I know whether to trust it or not. I think my like I think that a reasonable gut instinct is like, well, just in case, I'm like maybe don't say exactly what you saw.
Right. Even though, as we talked about it in the last episode, this isn't like a prediction in a game of Kingdom. This is just a
Right.
divine.
Right.
The divine could believe this, or it could be bullshitting you, or
Right.
Right.
But if someone hands you like a gun to play Russian roulette with, there's no like the
Whatever you
chances
do
that
with it,
there's
you're
a bullet in there.
right.
is
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know? Okay.
At the very least, there is an act of intimidation happening, which is scary.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
So, I think Cheel finds Paris and is like focusing in on that nobody seems to be doing anything about the cult. Like, I went to the retreat to investigate the cult.
Walk with me. I can't talk for long. I'm just heading to the dock.
Who's this?
This is Cheel Pushy. Or it's Cheel Pushy, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
Pushies. Yeah, I've been to Pushies.
Runs Pushies. Yeah,
I
yeah.
like it's good. I like what you got on tap.
Thank you.
This way, and just like points down a corridor as we all start walking towards the dock. What is it, Cheel?
It's bad over there. I went to check in on them because I thought maybe Mustard was supposed to be looking into the cult and seemed not to really be doing that. And
There's a
I went
cult.
through a
What's
tree.
the cult?
It's there's people are talking about a cult. It's people
Does this
say
have
that
to
there's
do with
something
the kid? My kid?
I don't think so. No. Wait,
What?
Pushy,
What did your
you
kid
need to be
disappear?
clearer.
Yeah, my
But
kid
we know where
disappeared.
they are.
Then maybe because
No.
the cult is making people disappear and then reappear days later, and they're weird.
Paris looks at False Fruit and just like shrugs and is like, "No, this is a different. We know we."
Well, I don't
We
know.
know
Wait
where
a
the
second.
kid is.
Maybe we should hear us pushing out. Maybe it's connected.
Yeah.
We don't have much time. Come on, keep walking. Step it
Okay.
up. Go on.
Three
The
T
kids are on the fucking. Okay.
3T was there. 3T seems to be a member of this cult.
Yeah, okay.
Fully a member of the cult.
What else is new?
Mustard seems to be pretending to be investigating the cult, but is actually a member of the cult.
Okay. Why are you coming to me with this? This is Brink Proxy business.
Yeah, and that's why I'm concerned. Because
Oh, I think you might be confused. I was only volunteering at Brink Proxy because I made a deal with I'm not like part of Brink Proxy.
Okay.
So you can go and you can. I want to help you, Pushy, but look, come here. Slams a button, opens the airlock open.
Whoa.
We're just taking a trip out to pick this guy's kid up. You come with. We can talk it through.
the cult put the kid in space?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Did you just say you just told me to? Did you just say that? What did you say?
Who?
You? Did you just? Did you just say that the cult did that, or is that Pushy jumping
No,
to conclusions?
that's me.
Okay,
I
okay.
inferred that based
Cult
on
Very
put
tired.
the kid in space.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, False Fruit. Look, we have got to go. It's just a short trip. You're welcome to come. We can talk through whatever you've got to talk through on the way. Otherwise, it'll have to wait until I
Who's
get
behind this cult?
I am not at liberty to discuss.
I
Why?
don't understand. Yeah, what have you got? You say this is bad news. So far, you've just told me that people were at a retreat.
There
I'm with
was
you.
a
I
threat.
think this is bad
A
news.
credible threat on life.
All right, okay. Get into the ship or stay outside. We're about to leave. I'm happy to talk this through with you. Are you in or are you out?
I'm in. I get in.
All right, door closes. Things take off. The three of us are now floating in a little ship further and further away from the brink. All right.
Whose ship is this?
This is one of my contacts' ships.
Ah, sure. Right. Okay.
I can expend a token to have taken advantage of a call in a timely favor from a prominent client if we want a ship, or we could just hand wave it. Whose ship is this?
Whose
It's-
ship is this?
Or it could be my ship. I'm a broker.
Yeah, you're a
so,
broker. You're a broker. Maybe it's you have a little ship. Maybe you've what's your? Tell me
have,
about
like,
what your
it-
ship is like.
This ship is called this ship is called Waterfall Guardians, and it is basically just like a white van. It doesn't look like a white van, but its functional equivalent is like it has a refrigerated back for storing fruits and vegetables. It can't go particularly quickly, but it's not like it's run down or bad. It's just like a working ship.
Right.
And it has fuel capacity to get us out there. This is the Mirage. I imagine we think about fuel in a kind of different way. It doesn't have weapons because it wouldn't need to. Yeah, Waterfall Guardians.
I'm gonna add it to your notes. I'm just gonna grab a post-it. It's easier.
Lament checks whether Knighton is one of their targets. And there's a small cockpit that the three of us are sitting in, like one
Really
of those
quick,
trucks
Waterfall
that have-
Guardians, right? Not
Yes.
Gardens. Okay, because I typed Gardens.
no.
Okay, there we go.
I'm thinking of like three big stone mythical creatures that guard. waterfalls, or
Right, of
guard
course.
a waterfall.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're all sitting next to each other, like in one of those trucks that has three seats in the front, and it is me, and then it is Pushy, and then it is False Fruit. Okay, we got a bit of time. We should get there in what does that timer say by your side, False Fruit?
22.
That's minutes. Yeah, we should get there in 22 minutes. Get the kid. We'll get back. So you got 44 minutes. Chill. It's a busy day.
Well, which cult is this?
This is the cult that the people have been disappearing, which is concerning. Lots
It's
of
like
people have
a-
been talking Brink Proxy and stuff.
What are they getting up to? People are disappearing and coming back, but what were they coming back
they come
weird?
back. That's
They're
a
coming
great
back weird.
question.
Huh.
How weird? Weird how?
Okay. Super in your face, friendly, very interested in like unity, but like in a weird way, and they keep checking their pulse and
False Fruit is not as good at lying as he thinks he is. And who's next to him?
me.
Pushy.
Pushy, who are you looking towards? I think, in my mind, you are talking to Paris. Paris is looking at you and therefore also in my direction. Because, it's like Paris is all the way to the left, I'm all the way to the right. And so, Paris, you can see that when Pushy mentions checking pulses, it seems as if False Fruit knows more. Or that triggers something in False Fruit. False Fruit's face falls, right? False Fruit's face falls.
Great little new tongue twister for anyone out there doing a newscast.
Are you familiar with this, False Fruit?
No, familiar with what?
Well, just when he mentioned the pulse checking thing, it seemed like you had some sort of response. Were you at the meeting at Pushy's?
What meeting? The meeting.
As an assemblage.
Oh, the assemblage. No, I was working.
I love they all pretend to not know. What?
All right, sorry.
Oh, yeah, the assemblage. Yeah, I definitely remember that meeting. I have no idea what the
No
fuck
idea
we're
what that
talking
is.
about.
No, I just yeah, and people check their pulses sometimes.
Yeah, it
No,
just
not
sounds like they're
sometimes.
being weird, Pushy. None of this sounds
No.
concerning.
No, it's like imagine like a horror movie where the main character realizes that everyone else has been turned into like a bug person.
Right,
they're
and then they
disguised
see them
as
doing
humans.
something.
You see them,
right?
You do some, doing something extremely weird. And you're like, oh my god, I'm the only one here not.
But the thing is, they're checking their pulses. That's not so weird.
They're checking their pulses, and they
No.
do something like big and consequential in the horror movie, right? And that's when you go. It's when you turn the corner, right, and you see the bug person eating Mr. Samuels, right?
Okay.
For sap.
Right. I didn't see anybody getting eaten.
Okay, well, that's a relief. Good.
But just imagine 100 people all at the same time, no notice, no nothing, totally synchronized, check their pulse all at once, same expression on their face, same movements with their hands.
Yeah, they're doing what? Like a little prayer. What
No,
about it?
It wasn't a prayer. I mean, maybe it's a prayer for them. I don't know.
It's it's probably just like a prayer for them.
It's not just like a prayer for them. I think I don't know. I don't know why there's so many of them. I don't know how they're getting people. Buster didn't disappear, and she was doing it.
This sounds like you're overreacting. I mean, I don't know you like that, Pushy, but it feels like you
just like doing the wave at a sports game or something.
Okay.
Everybody moving at the same time. This is some sort of,
I can't tell you what I saw, but Paris, what scares you the most in the world?
large bodies of water.
If you saw, is that true, by the way?
For me, Jack, or Paris?
Yes. Oh, no, for Jack, is it true for Paris?
Yes.
Okay, you get a token. That
oh,
was my lure question.
look at that. Yeah.
If you saw what I saw, you would have a new biggest fear.
You saw something?
What did you see?
What did you see?
I was threatened in a way I was told specifically not to say.
By who? Listen, all right.
Just tell us.
Cards on the table. I know some. They're fine. They're a little. We do some work with them sometimes. They have their little thing. They do their pulse. They say a prayer.
Okay.
They say a prayer.
Right.
They didn't threaten anybody.
They threatened me.
Who
They threatened you too. They threatened the both of you.
They threatened me.
They threatened us?
They threatened everybody.
The cult threatened?
Who?
What are you talking around here, Pushy?
Okay, I'm going to use a weak move.
Ooh.
I'm going to that's not really what this move is about.
You looking at this one?
Overindulge.
I think this is
reveal something about
true.
yourself that you,
I mean,
well, I don't think it's saying overindulge in revealing things. I think it's like overindulge.
yeah,
in
but
something
I think it's
else.
broad enough. The revealing something about yourself. It doesn't have to be overindulge in a substance. I think in fact,
All right.
it not saying that is part of the breadth of what it's trying to give you.
It was a divine.
The ship
What?
shakes and creaks.
Do you see that? Did you see what it did? What happened?
Our ship, the ship we're on, shakes and creaks as if it's like turbulence. But what if instead of feeling like turbulence, it feels like you've gone from being like a plane in the sky to like a submarine? Like the pressure drops out and there's suddenly texture around us instead of it just being an empty vacuum.
Okay. Easy
Whoa!
does it. But just pulls down.
You know how to
like
pilot this thing?
Yeah. Put your seatbelts on.
I don't think they're gonna help out here.
There's a okay. Did you know about this, False Fruit? There's a divine. They got a divine going on? Hey, listen. Did you know about this?
You want to know what I know?
Yes. Tell me what you know.
All I know is
Oh, are you now scared to say something?
I'm not. Well, I like gesture at the whole thing around us, shaking and creaking and whatnot. What
It's
if?
just turbulence. It's just mirage turbulence.
It's very poorly timed turbulence. If it's turbulence,
I can tell. I can tell you what. I can tell you what I know. It's not a. I can tell you what I know, but you got to get me in qualitative off the station. And you gotta get in there. You gotta get in there and erase any record of us ever being here.
Of you and the kid?
Uh-huh. And my job, and you gotta set me up with a new job somewhere safe. I'm either entangling a resident with a criminal obligation or offering something rare and illicit, this information, at a ruinously high price.
Yeah. I will also take a token for commit to provide for someone you know you can't support.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah. Okay, wait. You two, do you seriously believe that what you know puts us in danger right now?
I didn't think so this morning, but now I'm hearing different.
I believe it enough to not do it.
Is this divine one that I know of already?
How am I supposed to know how well you do your prayer reading?
Yeah, did you take a divine class?
Yeah, I went to school. I've read my books. I know the great old divines. I've encountered a few new ones.
Do I even know? I don't even know if I know.
I don't
The
think
message that I got didn't say, by the way, this is from devotion.
Yeah. I don't think it did. And I don't think it communicated itself. Has it communicated itself with the word devotion? Was that part of the... I know he had some cool visuals during the concert, but I don't remember.
It said you don't love me enough. People who understand divines might be able to make a guess. It's a divine about love or something.
This is my question. We had Sylvie give us some of this earlier. How public is devotion as a divine? Is this a fairly new divine? Is this a...
I think it is a newly recognized one. Yeah,
Okay.
I think it is one that was not really known until recently.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I don't want to give a hard answer on how long it's existed, but
Yeah. I gotcha.
It's not arbitrage, is it?
No.
Okay. Oh.
I mean, I don't
if
know.
That's good news or bad news. Was it on a phone?
Is there
Did it
another
threaten you on,
divine problem?
Apparently, there's another divine problem.
In what way?
Just pinching the bridge of his nose. Mustard encountered
Mustard
divine
again?
on a...
Oh.
Okay, Paris looks at false fruit and is just tell me what you know.
Here? Now? Let me get my kid first. We're so close.
Yeah. It's not safe out here.
I don't know.
What do you mean you don't know?
Sitting here.
Yeah,
I don't know what's going to happen where we're going.
we are 15 minutes away.
I don't want to lose to just sit here in silence instead of you telling.
Are you telling me my kid
You were
is
very resistant to telling us.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
You were very resistant.
But I was open resistant. You were lying resistant.
I didn't understand what I knew.
Okay.
All right? I'm not
You're
very
gonna say you're not going to be weird?
No.
Okay. I guess
15
you now
minutes
have
of
your
frosty
mistakes.
silence.
Mhm.
Shield's gonna. He's just gonna chat.
Okay.
Done any you seen any good movies lately? You
That's what's.
Yeah, do we want to leave this here on the way and come back to this?
I'm good either way. I think we've been going for a while, so yeah, I don't mind.
Yeah.
Switching up.
I'd like to move the camera at least for a second.
Important note from Miles, we do know the name of this divine.
We do.
Yeah, because what is the name of the cult? What is the name of
Is
the...
it?
Friends of Devotion.
Yeah.
Is it?
They've
Oh,
been
okay,
mentioning
we know-
devotion, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Which long term, again, we'll probably end up shifting it from the Friends of in the future at some point. I don't know if they'll become the Church of Devotion or some other thing, but for now, they are the Friends
I've
of Devotion.
also Yeah, I've been thinking of them as the like devotees.
The
as another
devotees,
way to
yeah.
refer to them.
Yeah, that's fun. So yeah,
Their gift shop and buy a devotee, TEE.
Yeah. That's also how you just spell that word. So
I became a friend of devotion, and all I got was the
point.
The
compulsion
devotee.
to check my pulse every 25 seconds.
But parentheticals
false
around T.
is dead silent for this. Is not talking. Is steaming.
Yeah, and yeah, yeah. We just
Doc
keep
with
the
this
Waterfall Guardians approaches. Sees
Yeah.
a tiny vessel.
escape pod. Can I throw a wrench in, which is fun? Which is,
Sure.
I think Qualitative is on that escape pod, but there's probably like 2 other people there too. Receive more refugees than we can comfortably accommodate.
Oh God, yeah.
It's like another kid and then someone who was like really fired up, and they were like, "No, I'll go with the kid. I'll make sure the kids are safe." And
Yeah.
they got cold feet. And this,
Or I'm not actually all about it.
right, exactly.
Yeah,
Oh,
totally.
these are people who also want to come.
On our already
okay,
cramped van.
People like sitting in the back of the van. Mm-hmm. Make this extremely, like a fuel run because there's more people on board.
I think False moves into the back of the van to sit with Qualitative, freeing up a seat in the front for one of these new people. But also, False is not talking about what he promised he would talk about. He's very much like, "Oh, you okay?" Talking to his kid and being like very. That is the thing. False
bless
Fruit is
his
doing.
soul. He has just recovered his kid from a war zone.
Yes.
But also, I see what you're getting at.
Yeah.
Okay. Meanwhile, on the brink,
Yeah. Who's
I'm
up?
gonna move. That was Chielstein, right?
It was either Cheels or Paris's. Yeah.
Yeah, that was my scene.
Yeah, that makes sense. So yeah, meanwhile at the retreat, or meanwhile wherever Lament is killing somebody.
hey, we don't know if I'm killing anyone else
Yeah,
yet.
you're right.
My thing was going to be a read the station. I was
Oh,
gonna,
sure.
Yeah. I wanted to like get a temperature check on because the first murder was covered up. This murder wasn't. So I would love to know how people are feeling about a body being found in I put meeting place, I think, on the card, but they wouldn't use that word.
The assemblage hall,
Yeah, the assemblage hall that the devotees meet in.
the hall of devotion.
Yeah, oh my god.
All right. That's not a minor scene. It's a read the station. So choose a topic. You might talk about a previous. So you can either make a question or a statement.
Mm-hmm.
What is your question or a statement?
Is the statement a body has been found in the
No, it should be more.
assembly hall?
I
Okay.
guess it could be that. You can frame your topic as a question like, should we accept deserters as refugees, or a statement like, the deserters will bring the war upon us. That feels a more like, more
Yeah.
pushed. It feels like there's an issue or like a position.
Like a value
How
statement.
about is it safe to keep the devotees on the brink?
Because the body was found there, or is this a pivot
Yeah,
to
because
it?
people yeah, like
Okay.
are they involved? Like someone died there. Is
Yes,
it safe
okay.
to keep this around? You
Yes. Then, starting on your left, each player takes turns weighing on the topic. You can speak as a class of residents like the Smugglers, or as an established group like Red Sun Galactic. Give a sentence describing how the group feels about the issue. The views shared are always opinions and beliefs, not facts. And then once everyone's weighed in, including you, the discussion is over. You don't need to settle on a unified position. Communities are messy and contain multitudes. Instead, draw upon what you learned to color your actions and inspire your questions in subsequent scenes. So,
How do we do the order again? Are we going?
we'll go by
boards?
by boards. So left of you is me, I guess. Oh, well, this is easy for me. I'm the troublemakers, and the troublemakers think that this is a setup. The troublemakers think that that the Friends of Devotion are allies in the struggle, and that they would never, if this person got killed, then they were either doing something they shouldn't, and they were involved, or this is some sort of principality plot.
Oh.
They're probably wrong, because I think,
yeah.
I mean, I can't say if other people dismiss that position, but I think the troublemakers are that, it's like when you try to criticize anybody who has like stands online, they just,
They'll just say literally whatever.
Whatever, yeah.
They're posting threads of everything good that the cult's done.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So now up to Pushy.
Sorry, the question was, how do we feel about a dead body?
No, it
it's-
was... Yeah, go ahead.
Do we feel safe with
feel
the cult on board
safe?
still?
Okay. And am I answering as Pushy?
No,
or
you're
is it
answering
as
as
anybody.
Well, I don't think it's an individual,
Right?
it's a group. You're answering as a
Okay.
group. It can be a specific group, or it can be a broad. So you could do, for instance, the Orchard Syndicate or the Broken Circle, but you could also do criminals, or you could do, merchants, but you couldn't do the Divine
Okay.
Arbitrage as a single person. I believe
okay,
I believe that that's true.
Okay, so so I will do the
Yes.
the scum and villainy, the various criminals on the station.
Mhm.
They are extremely conflicted. These are jobs, like the cult is hiring criminals to do things,
Mhm.
and so money is flowing for criminals in a way that it has, like, people willing to do shady things are getting paid more often, and I would say even with maybe even safer jobs.
Right.
But they're creepy, and like not all of us are into the stuff that they're doing. And they're like off-putting in a way. They're just like working for someone who's just like kind of dangerous isn't. Um, so I think that this is very ambivalent in that
Mm.
literal
Alright.
sense.
All right, Allie.
Yeah, hi. I think I'm going to be speaking on behalf of like a different church on
Oh,
the
fun.
station.
Yeah.
Um
Is it a divine church, or is it an unrelated new church for us?
I guess it would be a divine church if we're in the Twilight Mirage still, but sort of in the like divinity is the thing
Mhm.
sort of church, like not to a specific divine. I
Right,
guess.
right. But like,
Um,
the resonant orbit could still exist, right? Like, we haven't said those words during this game, or this, but they could. I don't know if the resonant orbit left with the Divine Fleet or not. I don't know if there's a Cadent still here, because there's no Cadent in the Principality, right?
Oh, sure, right, yeah. But like, I don't know that like just because the physical presence of divines is gone doesn't mean that like people's
I still think divines. There are divines here, not all of the divine, and that's what I'm saying. Right? Is like we know that many divines left with the Divine Fleet, but we also know that like Arbit didn't, and obviously Devotion didn't.
Right,
And
yeah,
so
yeah.
I'm curious if it is literally the resonant orbit, which was the big church / government back in the Twilight Mirage era. But I don't know. We just know that they don't exist out in the Divine Principality, so maybe that did stay here. I'm curious if there is a Cadent working somewhere in the Twilight Mirage today, or if that is a retired title,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Anyway, it could just be, for now, it can just be a generic other church.
Sure. Yeah, we can cross that bridge when we come to it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think the statement or the sort of reaction is like one that's more like compassionate in terms of like, well, we've just seen this community ripped apart by violence, and there's such like pressure and confusion amongst people on the station already to push someone out that that has been a haven this whole time would be inconsiderate and cruel, and we have to support our fellow, our fellow station mates.
Perfect. And Jack.
I am speaking on behalf of cult members.
Oh,
And the sort of the sentiment that starts bubbling up from the cult members is, get rid of us from where? Get rid of us from the people who work the grocery stores? Or do you want to get rid of us from the people in the print workshop? Or do you want to get rid of us from the hot dog seller outside the public pool? I mean, when you talk about getting rid of the cult, you understand that we don't all just, like, live in one place and do... You're talking about the people who live on this station. By what measure are you going to identify who's in the cult? How are you going to purge us from this place? We just live here.
and Sylvie.
I was gonna. Jack, you took my one. I feel like I might do a contingent of like the truckers, like the haulers and stuff, whose attitude basically sums up to there's been nothing but trouble since they've been more and more active on here. It's been interfering with stuff. We're not feeling safe to go out because of everything going on with the ships outside, and now they're just making things even more tense. Yeah. Just very stressed out about it all.
Fair. All right. Well, that's a scene. I'll add that. Hold a conversation. Or held a conversation on whether or not to remove the devotees after a body was found in their hall. Mixed results. Truckers, and who else was positive on removing them? Just the truckers, really, right?
I think they were just scared.
Yeah, truckers are scared.
Oh, and the criminal people were like, well,
They're ambivalent, right?
Yeah, they're like, they give us jobs and stuff, but also they're weird.
Other church was supportive of them. Troublemakers doubted they did anything wrong. And devotees, obviously, and devotees emphasized their presence as station members. There we go. Nice and legible. As you zoom in enough, it is. All right. We'll really get in there. And that is your turn, Sylvie. Mustard, you feel anything? You got any ideas here?
Yeah, I gotta get up to some stuff with this cult, right?
I think so.
How are we gonna escalate some cult business?
I don't know.
today?
It feels like we're on a precipice.
To the retreat, baby.
Yeah, it feels like we're on a precipice of breaking one of two ways. And, I mean, infinite ways, but the two quickly emerging ones between what Pushy is now doing, starting to spread the word that there's some stuff up, and that conversation being held, is get rid of the cult. The other, and I think this is represented really well by what Jack's answer was, is the cult runs the station. Not maybe directly, but if more and more people are from the cult, eventually it doesn't become a thing you can purge so simply, and does become a thing that's like, there's the devotees are important across all parts of the ship or all parts of the station, and that's not something you can just close the door on. It feels like we're rapidly reaching a point where if they're not dealt with, that will be the case, And maybe that's interesting. We'll see, I guess. But yeah, day 2. Let's to keep it in the action. Day 2. What's Mustard get up to? What are the sunrises on the false sky of this ship that were this weird outside forest ship? What's Mustard get up to?
Yeah, I wonder if it's something like, because the ideal of the cult right now is to continue spreading, right? And I wonder if this can be sort of a minor scene of like Mustard at like a campfire or something about like some like higher level cult people who are just like, we'd really like to plan this event, but we'd like to get information from someone who's involved with the Bring proxy about it. And it's just like Mustard like giving all of these secrets.
Oh my god.
Basically, in terms of being like, well, you can access this through that way. People don't really know that. There's approximately 320 residents in section 14. So I think that if you started there, that would be smart, and just like sort of like,
God.
Why? How does this happen? Like, what is Mustard? Is Mustard just like falling for it, or is there?
I
what's
think
Mustard's
it's.
play
I think
here?
it's the thing of like you get someone alone who wants to speak about the thing that they're passionate about.
Oh God.
Once it's like, oh, someone's paying attention to me about how how skilled and knowledgeable I am about things. But it's just like completely getting manipulated here in terms of like, oh wow, that's really interesting. What's your, I never knew that the security system for the
Right. Yeah.
used an alpha base access code instead of the primarily the one that we use for the other one and things like that.
God.
It's all fine.
I would love a scene. I'm gonna use an Interstellar War move on myself to get a scene with Morning.
Okay.
Mark someone with the ire of a senior officer. I'm marking myself. I like filed the paperwork that was like, I have a religious retreat. But I did that and like, I think Morning maybe sees through it or maybe suspects. I mean, you tell me, Jack, as the person playing Morning, does she think that I'm like trying to just get away from doing what I promised I would do, which was kind of be part of this bigger process?
She thinks it's kind of one thing worse, right? Which is like, my assistant's body was found at your retreat.
Whoa, it wasn't at the retreat. It was while we were at the retreat. It was in the devotion assemblage hall.
And she is not making the accusation that 3T has killed her.
Well, let's get into it. I'd like to do it specifically. I'd like to
yeah.
Does Morning come out to the forest ship to find me? All I want is, the only thing I can say is,
God, yeah, no, this is big. Sergeant Howie in The Wicker Man arriving at the station on his little float plane and calling out, send a dinghy out. I need to come aboard. So I think down through the forest comes General Morning, and she's got an assistant,
a new assistant
with her. She's wearing I was gonna say she's wearing mourning, but that's like no pun intended. She's wearing some symbol of having lost her assistant.
Yeah.
I think she generally wears dark colors, but she might be wearing like a band of brilliant color or a band of gold or something around her arm.
Mm-hmm. We should note that the kid she had with her is probably safe in childcare currently, right?
she would not bring the kid. When she came here, she did not quite realize the extent to which the war was going to
Right.
as rapidly engage. Otherwise,
Yeah.
she wouldn't have brought the kid. But now that she has the kids in charge, she's not bringing the kid to.
To the devotion retreat? No?
Ellelyn is not coming to the devotion retreat.
Ellen,
No.
right, yes.
That's Ellelyn. Ellelyn.
Ellelyn.
Lyn.
Okay. Is that her kid or her grandkid? I don't remember.
It is her granddaughter.
Daughter. Okay.
It's her son's kid.
Gotcha. Yep.
Who is presumably doing something back on choir. Yeah, and I think, she speaks to a cult leader first to be like, is Tanager here?
Does the cult leader...
I'm curious if, yeah.
Sylvie, would a cult leader say if I were here?
I don't think that I'm trying to decide because it's like on one hand I don't think that they're in the habit of like hiding people's presences because they think
Right.
it looks suspicious. But on the other it's like, oh, this guy is you know what? No, this is a general showing up. I think they'd mention it at that point, actually. I was going to be like, well, Tanager's a celebrity. Maybe they want to keep him for
Tanger's he, him, yes. Yes, I
Okay,
had to
yeah.
double check myself.
yeah,
The
that was my
loudest car in
thinking.
the world just went past my house.
No.
Oh my
Sorry
gosh.
for the recording.
Nope. Oh, yeah, it'll be on the recording. It did not come through the Discord, at least.
So yeah, I think they would be like, oh yeah, he's. I couldn't think of it. The pavilion over here.
Mm-hmm.
The
And yeah, you
pavilion
just
is
see
made
me.
of
I'm not
roses.
hiding. Yeah, I'm in the pavilion. I'm, talking with some people, very casually. I imagine there's like, I think I'm vaping probably. and have a cup of coffee in my other hand. Like it's morning wake up hour, it's morning social hour before like the kayaking and pulse checks begin.
But now it's morning social hour.
Ah, yeah.
Because General Morning is here.
I think, rub my temples and like toss my hair back and see you start to approach.
Good morning, Tanager.
Oh, hi, General.
Rough night?
No. It was great.
Very, very relaxing.
It was inspiring.
Oh, I'm glad to hear it. We missed you at the meeting yesterday. Come with me. I'd like to talk somewhere a little more private.
Why? What's wrong with here?
We're surrounded by... The stuff that we need to talk about, Tanager, involves a degree of circumspection. And I don't want to burden these people with it.
He nods and is like, all right, fine, I won't put up the fight, but nods in that sort of like show-offy way where it's like, oh, here we go, principal's calling me to her office again. Like, cool kid. And yeah, goes to follows you somewhere else. Where are you leading him?
Out of the out of the forest ship.
All the way
down
out?
Corridor.
I don't think he's not going to leave. He'll go somewhere private in the ship. I think if you start to
Yeah,
head
alright.
too close, he's like, whoa. I still have the rest of the retreat to do. You're not going to get me out of here.
Oh, you do. Okay. Well, it's
only day
a
2.
bench.
I filed 5 days.
Yeah, you filed 5 days for a religious exemption, which I was happy to give. But
Something
you and
came
I
up.
both know that. Yes, something came up. My assistant was killed.
What?
Is this something that you weren't aware of, Tanager?
When was your assistant was killed?
Yesterday. Yes. She was shot in the back of the head. Do you know
She
where
was shot in the with the principality? What happened?
It was in the meeting hall of a certain group known for holding retreats in the middle of work weeks.
Face just like, come on. You're fucking with me.
Not at all. Meet Roberta. Roberta sort of smiles.
Hello, Roberta.
This is my temporary assistant. I worked with Alexis for 25 years before she was killed in your meeting hall.
Now, okay, wait. First of all, first of all, I'm sorry for your loss. That sucks. I'm sorry. First of all. Second of all, it is not my meeting hall. It is what happened.
What do you want me to say? She was shot in the back of the head.
Is there footage? Is there... Do we know who did it?
Ring Proxy is working on it now. It seems that somebody cleared the footage of the night.
I think 3T is like, I've been here. I've been off the mesh.
Tanager, I am not suggesting that you killed Alexis.
No, I'm just saying I didn't know about it. I would have sent flowers or like something. We were all here. This is yeah.
Do you know these people well?
I know them well enough that they support me.
I mean, what I mean to say is you're confident that all members of this group were present?
Everybody I know who I've met with here is here. Now, if they have some members who wouldn't be at their big devotional retreat, then I haven't met them before. But everyone I know is here. Everyone I know from the devotees is here. You think that they killed someone? Okay, wait. All right. You think that they killed someone in their own assemblage hall and left the body there for you to find?
I think that the arrival of a Mirage General and her assistants could be a cause for alarm. I wonder whether or not Alexis... I have no understanding of why Alexis was in the meeting hall.
He just
Wipe that
gasped.
smile off your face.
No, that was not a laugh. I'm going to spend a token, my one token, to put my worldview aside to help someone out at a critical moment.
Ooh.
You can hide a body on this station, he says, wavering.
What? What is it?
You can, there are ways to... If someone wanted to kill someone here and get the body away, they could do it. Because I know someone who did it. Who's hit a body before.
General Morning, opens a black notebook and leans forward. Tell me everything. This is not a time to waver in your convictions, Tanager. I know you are a person with a good heart.
You shut the fuck up, Fridays.
I am losing my patience, Tanager.
What you're going to see is going to make it look like I was involved in ways I was not. But I was involved.
Just looking like, what the fuck are you doing? Keep talking.
The night of my concert, a little after.
Oh, a memorable night.
You don't know the half of it. I was backstage. Afterwards, I was still coming down. I heard a struggle in the bathroom. And I saw Deutsch, who this guy must have hit them. I don't know what. I thought it was a fight. I thought it was like a, bar drunk guy type thing. And he was dead. He was dead. And Pushy and I helped get rid of the body. Because Deutsch was clearly defending herself. And we didn't want her to get in trouble. So I know you can hide a body, and Deutsch knew how to hide a body.
Okay. I don't know that I can let you stay for the rest of the retreat. We have questions that we need to ask. I'd like you to take me to where this happened. I would be happy to talk to, I believe their name is Pasadoble, to see about getting you out early. Would you be willing to come back onto the main body of the ship with me to go through these things?
He's running the calculation in his head. Yeah. We don't need to talk to CTH. We can just go. I'll send a message.
Okay. Let's go.
I think that's a scene.
You snitched.
Uh-huh.
Got a spy on board, spy on board.
I snitched to protect.
I know what you're talking about. I didn't.
But
I'm
I
not on that
snitched
video.
to protect the cult I love.
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up Fridays unless it's about the cult you love.
I
I guess it's make a deal Monday instead.
didn't even make a deal. 3T didn't even get protection.
Yeah.
It goes, shut the fuck up Friday, silence, silence, make a deal Monday.
Uh-huh, yeah.
That's what the purpose of the days is.
Mm-hmm.
The only person who has so far asked for protection actually is False Fruit, who has asked for it from a broker. From a greengrocer.
Yeah. Which, it is that greengrocer's turn. Right?
Yeah. All right. I would like to spend a token to call in a timely favor from a prominent client. And in this case, the client is False Fruit, who I have asked to meet me in in the sauna where I accidentally sold out nuts.
Oh, okay. Speaking of selling people out.
With Pushy, because we need to. People have said to me that they would give me information, and neither of them did. And now it's time to pay the piper.
Sorry, what information did I not give you?
You didn't tell me what you found.
I told you it's potentially extremely dangerous for me to tell you what I found. Someone else can tell you what I found. If False Fruit knows what I'm talking about, then False Fruit can connect the dots. If I connect the dots...
This is why I've brought you here to corroborate it.
Okay, that's fair.
You don't need to say anything. You simply need to enjoy the 14 different whirlpool effects of the southwestern jacuzzi.
I'm currently on 9.
Oh.
Oh, whoa. What does it go up to? 14, right, I see.
14,
I understand.
yeah.
You don't want to be overwhelmed.
It goes like this. It goes...
Yeah, oh yeah, it's a good one. I like that one.
Yeah.
I'm so glad that we got... what's the cave called?
Qualitative.
Qualitative fruit.
Qualitative fruit.
How's
So,
Qualitative doing?
qualitative is with me. Qualitative's here.
You brought him?
I'm not...
This is the
we're-
general morning approach.
Yeah, uh-huh. What? After what just happened?
Yeah, I mean, fair enough. I understand it. Also, everybody loves a spa day.
Uh-huh.
Okay, I know this is hard. We're not out in the vacuum of space. Brink Proxy are presumably, on top of the station. Whatever the Mirage equivalent of God's in his heaven, all's right with the world is. We need to talk.
About the stuff from the other
About the
day.
divine.
Did you get a way for us to leave the station and get our names erased and all that?
I'm working on it.
You gotta promise me. I know you're a good
promise
broker,
you.
but I mostly think you move fruit. Which,
That's-
in this particular case, is kind of what I'm asking you to do.
Oh, yeah. Look, I'm glad that we can have a little lightness of touch about it. A little funny joke. I'm going to get you out of here. I promise. I'm going to try and move you back towards the center of the Mirage.
Then you have a job
the
and
planet.
you have something. It doesn't have to be a big thing. We have to.
I have a cousin on Moonlock.
Moonlock. Fine.
He makes machines that make the machines that put the laces in shoes.
Yeah, I know what's on Moonlock.
Look, I'm sorry. He says it's quite fun. He says it's quite... The machines are apparently pretty intricate and interesting.
I like machines. All right, fine. What do you want to know?
Where to start? Who is this divine?
It's devotion. The devotees,
There
friends
is-
of devotion, fervor, devotion.
Something very bad about hearing that. There is Paris feels his blood, which is something that you do in a spa anyway. I feel like, but this is concerning. It's on the station.
I guess so. It's they're on the station, right? So it's probably here. It works here. So either it's not here and it can do stuff here, or it's here.
Paris looks at Cheel with like a yes. Is this the case?
I do a grimace face.
And this divine devotion, how does it operate?
I don't know it one to one. Like, I don't know it. You know that I move fruit for the Orchard Syndicate, right?
Mhm.
I have bought and sold for many years. I'd say about 5-6 years ago, we got some new partnerships rolling. One of those was with this group. They helped us with expanding into some new areas. They helped us, do some research on some new types of blue oranges. They were just one of many groups that we started working with as part of exchanges and whatnot. Things about a year ago started to get a little hotter. They had us moving stuff besides fruit. We already had the logistics and infrastructure set up. We already had the trade routes. And we were mostly moving things that weren't anything by themselves, right? Pipes, metal, chips. Eventually, we started moving refined things that were already put together, weapons, medical supplies. Like they were preparing for something, who hasn't been talking about what's happening outside of the Mirage? So, what's to worry about? We have a group that's a little more paranoid than usual. They're stockpiling defenses. Okay. Devotion. They check their pulse every once in a while. Okay. They get a member in our leadership team. Okay. Seems fine. We get asked, hey, take these shipments and dump them at the edge of the Mirage. We started doing this work with some Orion people, right? Some Orion isn't in the Principality anymore, and so it feels like it's okay to do that. You and I went to the same schools. We both know what the dangers are, but it's...
It is what it is.
Maybe you bring people in, right?
Yeah.
Orion is an opportunity. Maybe we spread some of the way we see the world if we start to work with them. Maybe we don't.
Right.
During those trades, we start dropping these shipments, just random coordinates. Just these big boxes. And the other day, the boxes exploded. And I, at the time, thought that was all that kid. But when I think about who he's been with and about who he's been, it's them again. They had us move stuff. They built stuff. We dropped stuff off. That's devotion. That's the devotees. They didn't bring me in, I'm not checking my pulse, but I know those guys. They don't come back that weird. They come back brighter, Who doesn't sometimes? You have a spa day. You meet someone new. You find religion.
Feel your blood a little bit.
You feel your blood a little bit. Some people take up jogging. Some people take up violin. Some people check their pulse. We got a divine that just spins around. It just spins around all day. People worship it.
Shield corroborates to everyone that 3T definitely was working with the cult to do those bombs. Like, I know that for pretty much 100% sure. Right? I'm pretty sure that Shield is.
I think Shield at this point has put together that what you thought were guns were the Mirage bombs. Yeah.
Yeah.
For the Morning Mirage debut. Yeah.
But this divine is not spinning around. This divine is forming the Mirage into
We don't
bombs.
know. I don't know if this Mirage spins or this divine spins or doesn't spin. Don't put me on record. Don't put me on record at all.
I'm sorry, but why do we need to know if it spins or not?
Oh, because False Fruit was making a reference to Arbit, I think,
Yes,
a divine which
yes.
does just sort of spin around all the time.
Sure.
It's an interesting, a sort of an increasing curve of divines that spin round and round. In Kanswite, very few divines that span round and round.
Increasingly.
Twilight Mirage, it's a bell curve.
Yeah.
Many in Twilight Mirage span around a lot. Partisan, very few span around.
I was thinking, so, Arbit has bits. It spins internally, right?
No, the whole
was
thing
thinking-
spins. The whole I mean,
Oh,
it,
okay.
That thing just zooms
I
around.
was
yeah,
thinking, I was in my head, I was picturing a divine that twirls.
oh yeah, not like that. It's like that.
Yeah.
It's like that desk toy.
Right. Yeah,
You know
yeah.
what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
There's something that you're not able to say, Chiel, right?
Right.
Because you feel like you're in danger.
Yes.
I mean, it's a divine.
I feel like we're all in danger.
But maybe we're not. Wait. I mean, I don't. I don't want to be here. But that's because I don't want to be close to a war zone anymore. And
No, you knew the war was coming. No, you knew the war was coming.
no, I knew that people were getting their defenses ready. And why wouldn't they be?
It was as soon as Chiel started talking about the divine that you said to me, I need to get out of here.
Yeah, because I think we're on the fucking doorstep of a war.
And
I
this
want my
divine is going to push us into it?
It doesn't matter if the divine is gonna or not. In fact, maybe it should push us into the war. I don't want my kid on the front line.
Glances
I
over
mean,
at
this
the
is
Yeah,
a,
the
this
kid
a
is like-
4-year-old kid.
The kid kind of, sees his father yelling and is like, I'm sorry.
Okay.
I'm sorry,
Okay.
Quali. Come here. We're gonna be safe, Quali. Sorry for yelling. I'm very heated.
That's okay.
It's a hard time. You can go. I just want to talk to Pushy real quick. That was very brave of you to say. Thank you for,
When are we gonna get out of here? How many? Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna get my stuff packed.
Yeah. You
And
get your stuff packed.
And, I'm not going to buy any more. I'm not going to go get any more groceries. How about that? Which means when my refrigerator is empty, we got to be gone.
Can you get 4 days of groceries?
I have 4 days of groceries. I don't have my
it's
fridge filled.
Monday.
Yeah,
It's Space
okay.
Monday.
I got until the end of the week.
Yeah. Yep. Shakes your hand.
And gets up and leaves, leaving you alone with Pushy.
Pushy.
Mm-hmm.
Something had false fruit scared, and they talked.
Yeah.
Are you as brave as them?
No. I mean, yes, but I think that we're working on different scales.
I'm going to ask a player, what would it take your character to get your character to give me the information that you are withholding? If you name your price, you gain a token.
I need proof that the divine devotion does not have powers of prognostication.
And is this what you tell me?
Yes.
Huh. Well, all right. I'm sparred out. I got some reading to do.
Okay.
The what? How many numbers did of the water jets were there?
There are 14
14.
max.
There is a 15th, and it switches to that one. And can you guess at what the rhythm is?
Oh,
Heartbeat.
It's a heart. It's your heartbeat. It's your pulse.
I jump out of the water.
Being inside a inside a jacuzzi that is pulsing to the exact heart rate of your pulse is some James Turrell shit. That is,
It is. It's like one of those. You see people do that thing with like a pool where they put like sound waves into it to make the whole thing have wild waves like that are synced
it's
up
really
to
cool.
make geometric shapes. It's like that, but your body is in there, and it's set to your body's internal rhythm.
I don't know if that's good for you. I mean, like, I don't know.
We got to find out,
It would be interesting.
It would
to
be
experience.
interesting.
Anyway, that's my scene.
and that is the round. So, have residents have been disappearing, emerging days later as a new members of a strange cult been resolved?
Yes, I think so.
Oh,
Right?
really?
Unless, well,
There's definitely an argument that similar to hundreds of military
Right.
starships are using Anirai Moon as a staging area. We've gotten to a point where this cannot be solved.
Right. Or that solved means when we jump to whenever Palisade starts, Devotion has a stronghold on the brink. Or that Devotion's actions have moved, because you're right. We're not gonna resolve it, right? But what I'm saying is, my job as world builder will be to take whatever the end of this is and extend it forward into Palisade, where we will not be on the brink in Palisade. Maybe we will one day, who knows? But Palisade will be here, and it will be will be front of mind, right? And so, whatever knock-on effects from the cult wasn't stopped, I have to run with. So as long as we're cool with the cult wasn't stopped and continued to grow in power, and then
or do we want to? Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, so I feel like we're in the process of creating a credible
Yeah,
anti-cult
I think that is
force that we need to
I think
set
we need
up
to see that, 'cause
then
I don't-
resolve that can stretch out. We haven't gotten there
we have
yet.
not gotten there yet, certainly.
No, but people have information that they didn't.
Yes,
for
yes, that's why I don't-
whatever good that is.
I
but
don't
yeah.
think this is resolved. I'm of the mind that it might not be resolvable in that way, but I'd like to see that play out. I'd like to see
right.
you try.
As long as there's
Like a villain.
a germinating seed of anti-cult, then we can extrapolate that out instead of just having to extrapolate like, well, the brink is a cult.
Right. Yes. Yes. So you're saying we can resolve it if the resolution is Devotion exists and has grown in strength. I mean, Devotion is probably going to exist and grow in strength because it's a divine, and I don't think anything you have at hand can stop a divine. Yeah. What is you're saying is like the other half
he
of
needs a
that
little bit
resolution is okay. So you do want more scenes before we
I do
resolve.
want a little bit
okay,
more,
well,
yeah.
let's not resolve it. The second one is a huge shipment of blue oranges has pushed the brink to the brink. There are too many people safely housed to keep well fed, etc. I don't think that's resolved. Or if it's resolved, it hasn't gotten better. We've not seen anybody work on that.
As a group, we are so good at creating problems and so bad
Yep.
at solving them.
Damn.
Well, we are quite good at solving problems. It just takes us between
hold
12
up.
and 15 months.
I can solve with a minor scene.
Okay.
I can solve this one right here, and I can make it bad for us at the same time.
Oh.
Fear.
I actually don't know that I can do this because a minor scene has to have your character in it, right? Let's see. Give
Yeah,
instructions
minor
from
scene
your
does.
character. So I can't actually do this because I don't have. I mean, I guess I could use my turn to frame a scene with other people this turn. Here was my idea for it, and this is the classic friends at the table maneuver for like what a suspicious group does. Do you know who should solve this problem? Is the
fucking
devotees.
cult.
Is the cult. The cult should be like, we are shipping in more ships.
It's a classic.
It's a
Reach out
classic.
with your food.
Reach out with your food. Exactly. They should reach out with more ships arriving that can attach to the brink, that give people more housing, that give people better, that introduce better security, that introduce better, that have operating kitchens ready to go. Literally, this was not intentional, but what I just set up as false fruit was they've been stockpiling shit. And so, like, them spending that stockpile and moving it here to sort of put a flag in the ground is a classic friends at the table villain maneuver.
Yeah, it really is.
I can help.
Only the question I would have about that would be how that would play. Is that consistent with what we last learned about reading the station about the cult?
I think so.
It might be. Yeah.
The only people who were firm against them was the truckers.
And of course, then the cult's argument is, well, the truckers are against it because they want to control the
Yeah.
monopoly
Uh-huh.
for these kinds.
Exactly. Yeah. And it doesn't solve the cult problem. I'm not saying we close the cult problem there. I mean, we could, right? We could be like, okay, at the end, that's a fun wrap up, but it's not a good wrap up, right? I think that might be a thing that we could get a scene of that theoretically closes a huge shipment of blue orange. Like that feels like a thing that they could pull the trigger on that would close up that particular thing instead of leaving that open, instead of leaving both open, and I mean, that might be offer strength at a great personal cost, or, they are also part of the scum and villainy, right? And so that could also be, offer something rare or illicit at a ruinously high price, right? The rare and illicit things, the rare thing is space, food, security.
Space, food, and security.
Those are the things that we've outlined in Threat 3 as being...
The two things.
Well, we have two there. It says etc., right?
I think Keith is saying space food.
Space food. I say space food. Yes, you're right. Yeah, apologies, I missed this. Space food and security. Yeah. Space and food security. Also true.
Isn't it fun to break up sentences in weird different ways? That's a blast.
That's so fun. Language. Have y'all done that? And so maybe we can actually do that as a major. Maybe that can be a thing happening in the background of a major scene. Where, go ahead.
I was going to suggest that maybe the other ships could be arriving as part of this retreat thing. Like that
Right,
could be
that's a
part
good
of what
idea.
they're celebrating, like just to link
Yeah.
that stuff together.
Yeah.
Like it docks next to the ship that they're on.
Mhm.
It's got this
Oh,
sort
and
of, like-
it's all doing the same type of thing, where
Yeah.
it's like they all have the false forest.
yeah, some
they
of
all
them have
have-
more like buildings and stuff. In
Right,
it,
that's
though,
exactly what I
like-
was thinking. It's like
Yeah.
it's like a blue sky dome from
Very much.
Counterweight, right?
Very
it's
much.
like, oh, we're outside here.
Um,
I love this
Yeah.
as the anti-brutalism so much of like devotion is promising you this like beautiful world and is like completely deceiving you about what the reality of the situation is. Mm-hmm. Love to have a god.
the thesis of Friends of the Table.
Oh, I'd like to tease something, but it's probably too early to tease it. Right, Allie?
Yeah.
Okay.
We're starting a religion.
Or is that? Oh my god! Could you imagine if we were like, we're putting in the paperwork to become a religion, tax exemption?
Come to our retreat.
God.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
Absolutely not.
this has all been stealth marketing for us becoming a real religion that you can join. I'm going to become a high priest.
He's Carberry. Oh, Cursive Rock was really just good practice for me.
Oh my God.
Unbelievable.
great.
Fortunately, I am leaving friends at the table.
Our
To
first
start a rival
schism.
religion.
Yeah, we're a real religion.
That's right. I'm the anti-high priest.
Oh, Lord. So, are we doing another scene at the retreat, or are we doing something new? This could be happening in the background of whatever the next 3T morning scene is. This could be happening with Mustard. Could be part of bringing stuff together. Deutsch could be trying to kill someone in the middle of all these new ships arriving.
Yeah.
I'm still trying to land on something from this scene.
Mm-hmm. I should also raise this really quick. Okay, 1 second, because here's the thing. Let me actually read from the book something else really quick. Before the storm, the aftermath. Okay. When you mark the last thread is resolved, it's time to bring things to a close. To wrap up loose ends, play one more round. As with the first round, each player will narrate a minor scene. This time, demonstrate how your characters and their lives were changed by your story's events. If your character didn't survive, or you'd rather leave their fate a mystery, you can instead read the station, checking in with the community in the aftermath. So, I just want to raise, if we do think that we have now hit a bit where we're like, this feels like we could start doing wrap-up via minor scenes, we could do that. Instead of doing another round of major scenes first. I'm happy to do those major scenes, but I also think about a lot of them as I feel like we've climaxed in some way with the reveal of devotion, with the stuff with I'm sorry, I'm blanking on what literally just happened. With the devotees showing up to donate stuff. Like,
Yeah.
we can do that stuff as scenes, but also if we think that actually does bring an end to these things, we can give farewell scenes to our characters instead of playing out minutia. But I think that does leave some things open, like Deutsch's safety, stuff like
We
that.
are maybe like one
Round.
away from that.
Yeah.
All right, we'll keep that in mind, and let's see where we're at then, or who has things.
So, I have just been given. I don't want to do a scene again, but in terms of like where Paris is moving for a future scene, I have just been given 2 challenges. Challenge 1 is secure stuff for the fruits, the fruit, and challenge 2 is what do I do with this information, this knowledge of the divine, and also I can put 2 and 2 together that Cheel is worried about speaking to me because they think that the divine has predicted something. Cheel said, like, can divines prognosticate things or whatever? So I think Paris is very much at the thing 1, get these people off safely. Thing 2, what do I do with this information and who can I bring it to in order to act most safely?
Yeah, these are big.
And I'd be happy to play either of those scenes out, either in a major or a minor scene, but I don't want to double up because I just did the scene with...
Yeah, that's why I'm also being a little... Because my request for a scene will probably also be a 3... I mean, I guess it doesn't have to be. I could very easily do a 3T minor scene that doesn't move anything forward because 3T's already moved a lot forward, But that doesn't necessarily get anybody else
sure
anywhere.
fucking has.
You know, I think I would like 3T to wait until I don't think 3T has a lot of mobility right now. I think I don't know. Do you have 3T under house arrest? What do you have 3T doing?
Who is Art?
What? I said,
I don't know, Art. Do you have 3T under house arrest?
yeah. Who do you have
Jack.
3T? Did I say Art?
Yes.
I may have started to say a different word. I think I was trying to say something else. I don't think I was saying Art. I'll have to check the tape on that one. But
God, 3T might be back under house arrest again. It's a combination of a curfew and like I think he's spending a lot of time with Morning in terms of like talk me through this, take me back through. Let's
right. I mean, I guess that
recreation,
was the
you
next
know.
scene was being in Pushies, showing you
Going
where that
over it.
happens, right? So like maybe that is
Being interviewed about Deutsch.
yeah, maybe that's enough as a minor scene. Is that doing those interviews, being like, yeah, there was a person here, the you know, da 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 da.
Deutsch works at Pushy it's well, I don't know how much of a snitch you want to be, but yeah, that stuff.
I talk you through that night. And again, the thing I think at this point I'm really trying to re-emphasize is like my point is there are ways to get a body off this ship. And if a killer exists,
This is a work.
so this is a work. Right. I keep saying, I'm not saying Deutsch is involved. I'm not saying Pushy's involved. I'm saying they knew how to get rid of bodies really quick. And etc. Do you find the tape that doesn't have Pushy on it?
Oh god, like inevitably, right? Like just combing through
Which makes me look like a liar.
Yeah, yes, and the lengthy days of this continue.
Right.
Of like morning, you know, some days it's just not morning because General Morning is busy doing something, trying to organize the fucking war as well.
Yes,
now
yes.
a murder mystery is happening.
Does the murder mystery get put on the person I hated and who hated me? Coruscant 17, or does
No,
General Morning keep it
because
a military
General
matter?
Morning has been told that Seventine is not good, and specifically has a distaste for you. So I think explicitly keeps Seventine out of it.
Okay.
It's Roberta. It's seven. It's I was about to say Seventine. It's Morning's assistant. Morning's new
Roberta.
assistant
Sure.
coming
sure,
in.
Sure.
Which is like it's such a good plot line to be the replacement assistant
it's
hired to
very
figure
good.
out the murder of your previous post. But it's just exhausting for Tanager.
Yeah. And just like momentum killing, you know? But like, I think we now see him defeated and resigned.
I have a question for my stuff.
Sure.
Are people like actively looking for me now? Like,
Great question.
does Morning have people out? Because that could lead into. I was thinking of a major scene of being like going to Tanager and being like, "What the fuck did you say to them?"
That's. I mean.
Oh,
that's,
yeah, that's good.
Like that's.
Yeah.
Let's do that scene. Let's do that scene.
Yeah, I think Morning does have people out for you, but it's that combination of it's a combination of I don't think she's being like we need to hunt the spy that's on board Deutsche Synchro. I think it's much more like to quote John Daniel, she's got guys on every corner and they are keeping an eye out for you.
Yeah, I don't know how surveilled Tanager is, but I think this is very much like waiting until I'm 100% sure there is nobody there. That I'm breaking into your home.
Yeah,
and
I'm staying in the
confronting you.
studio. I stay in the studio all the time now. I live out of my studio, which is a more public place, but that it's still it's right near the night markets, but it's not private, you know, or it's sorry, it's not
Increasingly
actually public.
morose art.
No, I think it's a lot of unfinished open-ended piano melodies where I'm like starting a song and then letting it go and starting a new song and that's what I'm doing when Deutsch comes in. What were you going to say?
Oh, that's just exactly that is morose work for me.
Okay.
Getting halfway through a piano melody and then going, oh fuck it.
Deutsch.
Yeah, I don't think you see me until like I think you're at the piano, and then like I don't like I close the door loud enough for you to hear, so you can turn around.
I can turn around and
see
look
me.
at you.
Yeah. What did you tell them? I've had people sniffing around for me the past like 24 hours, and I don't like it. manager.
Hey, sit down. We'll talk.
I do not sit down.
I
ahead.
I'd like try to finish a phrase. I'm like, give me a second. I'm like trying to find the end of this phrase and I can't find it. And so finally I'm like, what I told them was that it couldn't have been the devotees who killed Morning's assistant. Because I was there when that guy attacked you and helped get rid of a body. And it's easy to get rid of a body on this station. And so, why would someone just leave a body in the middle of the assemblage hall? That, to me, seems like a work.
Great. So not only did you tell a general that I killed somebody, you also
In self-defense.
Yeah, okay. I'm sure that that argument is really going to help me get off her most wanted list.
We should have just gone to bring proxy to begin with. We shouldn't have gotten rid of the body to begin with.
Come on, man.
What do you... it was self-defense. It would have been fine, but I was so hyped up and worried and confused, and you said we needed to get rid of it.
You did me a solid, and now it's like I don't even know you, man. Since when does 3T talk to cops?
They're not cops. They're soldiers, and they're on our side against the fucking principality.
Yeah.
And they're trying to come after my biggest supporters, the people who are actually going to help us fight that war. They were going to go arrest Pasadoble, probably. We have to be unified. Let's just go to bring proxy together and explain what happened, and it'll be cool. It'll be fine.
It's so funny that 3T calls the Cult of Devotion his supporters.
Uh-huh.
It's a very funny way to think of the cult.
Because it's because that's what Pasadoble has told him is true.
Yeah.
And so he just buys into it.
Yeah. This is just like a weird religious-y version of the Troublemakers.
Yeah, exactly. It's exactly right. Yeah.
I want to ask, I guess out of character, but I don't know, it could be in character. How could I gain your character's confidence?
You could go with me to bring proxy and say,
okay, yeah,
it's
I
not going
figured.
to happen. No.
Yeah. No.
You could.
No, the answer can be that's it. Like,
yeah,
I
know.
don't
Well, I'm
mind
thinking
that
about 3T and 3T being weak right now, and 3T being like emotionally, like 3T feels like a fuck up, and a week ago 3T felt like a revolutionary and a rock star, like literally both of those things at once. Felt like he had threaded the needle perfectly, and so I think it would actually be remarkably easy to get his confidence right now in terms of like trying to make him feel good about his efforts, and like the same, like I can't play 3T as being, is 3T is, let me look, 3T is as written, smoky eyes, perfect makeup, battle scars, and then visionary, confident, powerful, believes that he'll be a powerful leader. And I think that like playing into that last one could help trigger that confidence again, where it's like, you know, letting him telling him that he's made good decisions and that we'll get through this, like that style of support, you know?
Okay. Yes, I like this. I can work with this.
All right. So I get a
Does that-
token. Is that that's how that works?
Yeah, that was my lure. If
Yes.
if you reveal a weakness, you gain a token.
That's a weakness. Easy to stroke my ego.
Yeah, I think what she does is like she pauses for a minute. I don't think like I don't think 3T sees any like weapons on her, but she has been thinking about shooting him this entire time. Yeah, wrap up a loose end easier than that, but also he's become an asset at the same time, so it's a complicated situation for her. And I think what she does is she like sighs, like sort of rubs her face a little, and then is like, okay, I get where you were coming from, and like I guess I can't fault you for wanting to take care of your people. Very clearly emphasizing, by the way, that like she is trying to give the image that the people who follow the cult are just all in on 3T, big fans, you know?
Yeah.
But you got to keep my name out of your mouth about this stuff.
I'm sorry. I will.
Okay. Because look, I don't want to scare you or anything, but you have seen what I'm capable of, and
it's a funny joke. Don't tell that joke anywhere but here.
Yeah, of course. Just joshing you, but again, just next time she asks you something, shut the fuck up, okay?
Yeah. I'm sorry, Deutsch.
Yeah, no problem. I'm gonna go avoid the people who are looking for me now, and try and get like 10 minutes of sleep or something.
If you need to stay anywhere, my place is empty.
Yeah, I'm sure they're not checking that place out.
All right.
I'll catch you later,
fair.
3T.
Bye.
And then she just leaves. Like, yeah, okay.
I'll kill you, LOL, JK.
Yeah, no, extremely.
It's big.
I said in
Martin
Minecraft.
Blanc vibes.
Yes,
from
it is.
Grosse
It
Pointe
is. It
Blank.
is.
Like, don't say that. You shouldn't say rude things to me. You're my therapist.
Yeah.
Just so I know where you live.
Yeah.
Okay, I like that scene.
Mm-hmm.
Also, you have a token now. Hey,
I do.
enjoy.
I love to have a token.
I wanted to get my lure in at least once before we wrap things up.
Yeah, I think we've only used 2 lures. Maybe
I've
3?
used lures before.
We've used them a couple
we've used them a
times.
few
I just noticed that I kept forgetting to.
We're just in session 5, and it's been running for 6 weeks. So.
Hi, I'm here. I was just eating M&Ms.
Hi.
No worries. Regular M&Ms or...
Peanut.
Oh, okay.
Cult
I thought you said I was
M&Ms.
eating evidence.
No, that's what I'm doing right now.
Yeah.
to hide my tracks. Yeah.
Peanut's good. Peanut's probably the best one.
Yeah, I wouldn't know.
Thank you.
My favorite thing about.
Sylvia, you allergic to peanuts, or you just?
I know I've never brought this up ever.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, you had no idea.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it's like not something that people, in other countries need to know for safety reasons. By the way, you can't eat peanut butter while we're recording. I'm that allergic.
Yeah, absolutely not. I'll smell it through my microphone and I'll get sick.
That'll be bad.
They have almond ones. Do you like the almond ones?
I actually haven't tried those. That sounds good. We should keep playing our game.
Should we play our game? I like these little guys. They look like they're running on top of our game. It's very funny.
yeah,
to
I
me.
moved them there.
Oh,
They-
you
they-
did.
Oh, good.
Okay,
Yeah, they
good,
used
good,
to
good.
live above actions, and I moved
Right.
them.
Yeah, good. Well,
Thank you so much.
Oh, they're
Maybe
running
you're
across the
pursued by an
timeline.
attack ship.
No,
or-
it's just extra little, down here. So yeah, we're good. All right. So
Now it looks like it's supposed to be this long.
yeah, exactly. Mustard. You said that or Allie, you said you were back. Does that mean that Mustard has a scene?
I can think of one for sure. I was wondering, but since it seems like this is going to be the final round, as like a, I had 2 ideas, which is that either we get the cycle end feast on screen,
Oh, sure.
Oh, yeah.
and we have Mustard's part of it as being like, well, I'm here and I'm in the cult now. Or I was wondering if I should be talking to Morning, who's like, "Hey, I looked at your computer and there's a divide on it, and also you have all of this surveillance footage that seems kind of creepy." Or I was wondering if anyone in the cult or THC or CHC.
Wait, sorry.
CTH. Wait.
CTH. CTH.
THC Paso Doble.
THC Paso Doble. Let's fucking go.
Let's fucking go. Could you pass a doble that's that THC?
I forgot that was Paso Doble's name, so I thought that Allie was forgetting 3T's name. It just being really, really wrong.
If there were any political allies, not allies, like villains, enemies, rivals,
right, sure.
that could be left alone with a magazine. But maybe that'll be my pepper, because we don't need another
In the
assassin.
Coen Brothers version of this, someone just finds it by mistake. This is how, like, I'm not suggesting this for Deutsch, but in the Coen Brothers version of this, Deutsch finds the magazine by chance, you know, and is like killing time by flipping through it, and just sees the picture and dies, right?
No,
I'm not saying we do
I
that.
honestly don't hate it, but we'll see.
I don't know how you would even find it at this point. But
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
In that case, I'll just bring it in the middle of the final cap. But yeah, I'm up for either of those scenes, Jack. I know that you've been mourning a bunch tonight, so we can do more of a.
Yeah. We could do another one if we don't want morning. I feel like every time I've had a scene with you, Allie, it's been my character saying you're being fooled about a divine. And I feel kind
funny.
of bad to just keep reappearing as a new person each, sort of like the Grim Reaper in different guises, saying mustard red. That's also a divine.
It's very funny how many different people keep warning her now.
Mm-hmm.
Like, everyone in her life is like, stop doing this. This stuff is bad. And she's like, I don't know. It seems pretty awesome to me.
Are we not supposed to have access to power? I don't get it.
oh,
We're not supposed to have access. Look, power's just out there. We should just grasp it.
Yeah, all you have to do is ask for a dangerous magazine and you can get it.
Yeah.
Morning
There are
doesn't
no
know
issues
about
with
the magazine,
this.
though, right?
I don't think so.
Morning definitely knows that such a magazine exists, but does not know.
That it currently resides on the ship, yeah, but
No, Morning is on her 4th straight migraine. Just as a result.
Hate
But
it.
yeah, no, I will pass on playing Morning unless it really comes down to it, or unless you want Mustard to just get her just desserts in some respect.
I mean, I guess if Morning is like, there's maybe a more interesting thing happening here, which is that like if Morning becomes like the sort of like the video game thing of like, oh, Morning didn't schedule her days well enough and didn't access the like subplot of finding out about arbitrage because she didn't have the time
And
to
her
be like
lady got shot.
right, yeah. Like you could have been a part of the arbitrage plot line, but you weren't because you got involved and because someone was trying to murder you. And instead, like, does Mustard end up becoming a bridge between arbitrage and devotion?
God. Miserable.
Oh my god.
This like plunky idiot
Oh.
has
Oh, this is the most Coen Brothers thing.
Wait, I'm sorry. I think I missed this. What is the pitch?
Of course.
this is great. This is I had not even thought mustard is it's more specific than just the Coen Brothers thing, Austin. Right? It's like Fargo the movie and Fargo the series have this great repeating structural gag, which is someone attempts to do something they think is going to work, and a bad coincidence suddenly puts them monumentally over their head.
Yeah. Keith, what Allie suggested was that mustard could be the bridge between devotion, the divine and the cult she's now part of, and the divine, arbitrage, who is the divine on her computer, in her cell phone, in the mesh net that she uses.
In a locked box in General Morning's office that she hasn't been able to open because she's been trying to solve a murder mystery and negotiate the Mirage's entrance into a war.
I mean,
So-
yeah, it's great.
Yeah, it's great. It's incredible.
So horrible. It's exactly what Mustard deserves.
The market has its own pulse. You know?
True.
God.
That's a great point. I think the two of you would really get along.
Oh, it's so bad.
I think it does feel in a way like we spent so long saying, well, we said we wouldn't do anything to the Twilight Mirage.
Yeah.
Now that we're able to, we're like, and so we'll fucking kill it in one go.
That's fucking right.
Sickos.jpg.
Yeah.
But like,
What are we doing here if not being sickos, you know? Like, let's lean in.
well, the thing that I like about it is both devotion and arbitrage would think that they got the better of the deal and they're going to be the ones in charge, right?
Divines rip each other to shreds. Out
Ahem.
of a sense of
When divines fight,
when
millions
divines
die.
fight, millions die. But also, divines are like not all of them. We have seen divines being like intensely petty.
Yeah.
And not above, like, Grace is like a great example of this, of like, Grace and to a certain extent righteousness think they are constantly making the correct play
Yeah.
and are always getting outmaneuvered by the other. Rigor was invented to get very slightly ahead of another
Yes.
corporation.
Yes. Yep. Never forget it.
Well,
Not immensely ahead, a little ahead.
There is a sense, though.
And some divines are like Belgard, right? Who were like devoted to healing people and helping people and bounty.
Some divines are like Arbit, who are like, wee ha ha.
Sorry.
Me. That's my type of divine.
Oh, Keith, sorry, you were saying.
There is, like, as for as petty as divines can be and how, like, ambitious they can be towards, like, whatever weird goal they have, there is kind of a sense between devotion and arbitrage that they don't have goals that would conflict in
Right.
that way.
Yeah.
And instead just might be devastatingly cooperative.
Yes.
Like,
Yes.
there is nothing about people loving devotion and expanding the Twilight Mirage that will stop arbitrage from making a bunch of fucking money.
If that's what arbitrage wants.
Right, sure.
Like,
it seems...
Yeah. I think the money is a medium and is a
Well, okay, capturing a
Yes.
bunch of lanes of
right, we actually
capital.
know what this is. Commodifying traditions, becoming the backbone of all commerce, right? Money is small. Having US dollars is small compared to being the USD and having everything pegged to your currency, right?
Yeah.
That is the shit that arbitrage that it is interested in. It wants the language of the galaxy to be money, and for money to be spoken in arbitrage,
Yeah.
and money to be spoken in glint coin.
And it's possible that breeds, like, contention between two divines who
Totally.
absolutely, like, where devotion doesn't want wants the language of
Pulses and love and
to be like love
But-
and togetherness, and also keep thinking about me.
if only we had some sort of real life example of hyper capitalism and a sort of foundationalist extremist religion working
This is
together.
This is
over
exactly what I'm thinking
decades.
of, where it's like this doesn't necessarily. It maybe is more dangerous, like when two divines cooperate.
Yes.
Maybe even more people die.
Yeah. When two divines fight, millions of people die. When they cooperate, billions do. Right?
Yeah.
Uh-huh. God. I don't know if that's a
I hate
scene
this
of
show.
some sort, but it's yeah. I guess that's a minor scene for Mustard, right? Mustard is what is the moment of connection here? How does it happen? Is this like, does Mustard complain to someone in the Friends of Devotion and the devotees about not having access to arbitrage anymore because you got your computer taken, and then that like they gave you a new computer, or they like re-hooked you into the net or something?
Oh, I was thinking of something like a little bit more sinister, where it was like, yeah, Mustard like returning to the Bring proxy and like going to her like work setup or whatever, or like checking her like personal phone instead of her laptop, and like seeing a message from Arbitrage there, and then Arbitrage being like, well, it's just like the subtle way it did all of the other things, right? Which is like, Mustard like putting cult events in her Google Calendar or whatever, and Arbitrage being like, well, let me autofill this for you, or add this to our database. Add your contacts to our database, and we'll be able to send them coupons or whatever, and
Everyone in the devotees
$5 for everybody who spends $30 on our.
God. I was going to say a Groupon, but now you've got them into multi-level marketing. Unbelievable. Again, like, it's just this, right? I could turn on any TV in 4 hours, and once we're past midnight, I could flip around the TV channel until we find some pastor somewhere selling multi-level marketing food bunker buckets,
absolutely.
Ugh. So yeah, I love it.
I was trying
Fantastic.
to get a bit more of that vibe with CPH, so this is perfect.
It's all right here, yeah.
Yeah.
Or it's even like Mustard like buying like supplies for the day and feast from the arbitrage market.
Right.
And then being like, oh well, I got it from yada yada.
It's as simple as wait a second, where did we need more blank. We need more gravy, right? And I can get us more gravy. I have a gravy guy. I got a gravy arbitrage.
Arbitrage.
And it just gives you the gravy, and that's the way in. Yeah, I love this. This is very funny to me and terrible. All right, Paris, Cheel, Lament.
Did I not do mine?
Did you do yours? What was yours?
Mine was seeing you.
Oh, you saw me. That was not mine. That was yours.
Yeah, that was mine.
Okay. Whoops. So then Paris, me, and Cheel.
Mm-hmm.
I sort of feel like I gotta escalate this. Like, I told Paris, Paris is gonna go do, like research on whether or not I can tell him more. But do I have a connection? Do I know about? No.
Do you know about what?
Well, I was like, okay, here's the problem. This is a form problem. Because the person that I would escalate this to is what is the general's name?
Morning.
But I was just like, well, I don't want to do a scene with Paris because I did my last two scenes with Paris. And then Jack saying, I don't want to do Morning anymore unless I have to. And then it's like, well, instead of this Jack character, I should escalate it to this other.
We have somebody else play Rebecca, Morning's assistant. Roberta, not Rebecca. Sorry, Roberta. We could do. There are other people presumably in this organization at this point.
Yeah.
Also, other people could play Morning.
Yeah, that's also true.
Morning would probably be the person to bring, or Morning's crew would probably be the person to bring it to, although they are not specialists in terms of, they're soldiers.
It would be fun. What's that command center look like? Do you know what I mean? It would be fun to see Pushy enter a room or a ship that is whatever this version of a military that General Morning's been building.
I also have a side thing, which is that I could have a contact in the Broken Circle, the Zealous gang.
Yeah, what is their deal?
They're a different.
So there is a second cult.
There is. Well, there's a Zealous gang. We don't know what they're zealous for.
Yeah.
But I picked Zealous for them because I thought it'd be funny if there was a Zealous gang that wasn't the weird Orchard Syndicate that we knew was a cult. So I could go to. We could make up a high level Broken Circle.
The danger there, though, is like introducing a new entity this late in the day.
Yeah. Yeah, let's do the command center.
Jack, what's it look like there?
It's the capital ship that they brought when at first they were in rented space or like community space set up for visiting, like meetings or whatever. But as it got worse, they brought in I guess a flagship or something, which has docked onto the side of the Brink like everything else has, and it has in it a kitchen. It has sleeping quarters. It has. I mean, all this stuff would be great to solve the refugee situation, except there's only one of these ships, and the cult has provided 30. I'm picturing the inside as having lots of. So this is I want to do a distinct aesthetic change from the Brink, in terms of what we've seen so far, because this has come from close to the center of the Mirage. So I'm imagining lots and lots of hanging fabrics and tapestries, and almost woven murals of things showing other events. There's a mural that was created almost like the Bayer tapestry to commemorate coming here that has been hung. There's stuff hanging from the ceilings that gives the effect of being inside a series of large tents that all kind of interlink with each other. And yeah, Keith, I think you're told pretty quickly that General Morning is not available right now.
I think I can play Roberta, I think. Roberta's right? Is that what you said, Roberta?
Yeah, but I think what happens is Pushy is told that it's not, you can get a second aide de camp or whatever.
Right.
And it's only when what is it that Pushy says to convince this organization that General Morning's second should come out? Other than I think I've been cursed to non-speech.
I guess I'm gonna say that I have I guess maybe I'm gonna do a little bit of bus throwing and say, there we go, I lost my tab. I'm going to say that I have 3T information on the cult, on 3T, and on other dangerous activities on the ship that are being blatantly ignored by the oh my god, I have forgotten the name of
Brink
Proxy again. I can't remember.
It is what it is.
It's being ignored by Brink Proxy, or even facilitated by them. And someone has to do something, or the consequences will be apocalyptic.
So what happens is that word gets back to General Morning's desk, and General Morning says, "Chill Pushy from Pushy's bar, where the body was."
Oh my god! Right.
Look, I'll get up. And I think she goes to get up, and Roberta is like, no, you stay
You
here.
stay. Yeah. I'll deal with it. Bring him into a room. And there's a little room. What was the aesthetic of this place, Jack?
Like fabric everywhere.
I was gonna say, okay, yeah.
Hanging tents, almost like crepe fabric or pastel, bright Mirage pastel colors, and then murals, woven murals. Oh God, there's a. You keep talking. There's a specific
You go digging.
artist that I'm trying to find. Yeah.
Roberta brings you to a room, Pushy, that is all this fabric stuff. There's a nice plush couch up against the wall, and then kind of coffee table with two kind of big armchairs facing each other. And they're not actually facing each other. They're kind of facing at an angle inwards towards each other and towards the sofa. And there's like it's an oval coffee table, but instead of having glass on it or something else, there is a very fine, almost impossibly thin fabric pulled extremely taut around the wooden oval. And it's
sick.
And it's firm enough to hold a cup of cold coffee, which Roberta places down, and then realizes, and she says, would you like anything to drink?
Is the coffee cold on purpose or because it's old?
This is old coffee. Her coffee is old coffee, but she could get you new coffee.
I'll have water.
And then she stands up and goes over to like a little refrigerator in the corner. That's like a waist high thing, bigger than a mini fridge, smaller than a real fridge, and produces a glass bottle of water and brings it over with a pair of cups and pours both of you glasses. She crosses her legs. I imagine she is in her late 30s, early 40s. She's Quaer. I think her complexion is like bluish gray. She has her hair in a bun, but like her head nubs are up, like are tall enough to be poking through some of that bun, and they're kind of in like a circular format, a circular pattern. And she says, "My name is Roberta Orphan. You can call me Roberta. Now, before you get into this apocalyptic news, we do have a few questions for you."
Okay, but it's really important.
So are our questions.
Okay.
On the night of Tanager's concert, the deployment of the arms that created a synthetic mirage, were you at the bar the entire night?
Oh, that's a good question. I don't remember if I was there. I'm gonna say I was there the entire night.
Did you close the bar? When the night was over, were you there to lock the door? I assume you locked the door to the venue.
Obviously Cheel Pushy knows why this is extremely bad. And the thing that he doesn't know is that the plant on my back went and deleted the video.
You don't know that.
Of me having been there.
Cheers to us.
God, you spend 4.5 years setting up fucking dominoes, and then they start falling down.
I'm going to use a token.
Hell yeah.
Wait, you don't have any tokens.
I do have a token. I just don't have a
Oh, you didn't grab a token.
Yeah, I used the weak move overindulge.
Yeah, I remember that. Yes. I'm putting a token there temporarily.
Yeah. I'm going to use the move.
Jeez, these moves.
Yeah, so I'm deciding between one or two.
Wow.
They are say just the right thing to soothe someone's troubled mind and open them up to change. But Roberta's mind doesn't seem that troubled, and open them up to change seems like a gentle way to describe like convincing someone that you weren't involved with a murder without even letting them know that you know a murder happened.
Mm-hmm.
And then tear someone to pieces with intense scorn.
Jesus.
That sounds like a really easy way to get someone to change the topic, but also seems a little harsh.
You think it would change the topic if you tore her to pieces with intense scorn?
Yes.
Okay. You'd be
I
spending a
think so.
token. I just feel like that's...
Well, it would be a guilt trip about, like, the thing that I'm here to talk about is extremely important. The idea that you would come to me with
You think
another thing.
there's
with
a
questions
killer
about
on
some other
board.
thing.
That isn't that different. That
There
isn't
is
that
something
small.
much worse than a killer on board. What about the word apocalyptic? Do you not understand? I was being literal. I'm being literal about the word apocalypse. I chose it on purpose.
Do you have bodies? We have a body. In fact, there was another killing a week before.
A week before the concert?
A week before this, or I guess it was it after? When was the body? No. You don't understand. There have been 3 bodies now, we know.
Is that
You have
true?
3 bodies? Yes. Yes, it's true. One
Well,
person...
yeah, it's still much worse than that. No, I don't have bodies. This is a preventative thing. I don't have any bodies. I'm here to prevent bodies. I'm here to prevent a billion bodies.
Your Honor, I'm here to prevent a billion bodies.
We have a body in your venue on the night of the concert and testimony placing you there, covering up the death. We have
Testimony from who?
from a witness. We have a body found on board one of the one of the oldest vessels on board, of a refugee in need of aid who was shot to death by an unknown killer, and a running gun battle, which followed, damaging, it seems, the entire vessel. And we now have the body of my predecessor. Now, how apocalyptic? More apocalyptic than 3,000% more dead on board in a week than normally come in a year?
Yes.
What is it you want to tell us? I'm going to take that token away.
I quickly go over the events leading up to my decision to investigate the cult retreat. I am curious if they even know about the cult that has been disappearing and reappearing
they
citizens.
Picked up 3T from the retreat.
Oh, right. Yeah.
And my
But
predecessor
they
was
know it was a cult.
my predecessor was killed in their HQ, in their assemblage hall.
Well, then this is obviously related. These people they're weird, they're dangerous. Their 3T is helping them.
3T is helping us.
3T is helping them. It seems like whatever 3T is doing to help you is because he was caught so obviously helping them. And you had to come and clean up his mess.
You're suggesting that 3T is involved in the death of my predecessor.
I don't know what deaths 3T is involved in, but I do know that he was given...
So you're denying that you helped hide a body with 3T.
Why would you say that?
Because we have a witness placing you at your bar.
Witness.
Is
What
it
witness?
true or isn't it?
No, it's not true.
Oh, dear.
What witness?
Write something down. I'll need to be back in a moment. You sit right here. Stands up and leaves and locks the door.
This is the exact inverse of the bind that 3T found himself caught in with General Morning at the retreat, and the two people have taken the exact opposite responses, right? Like, in an attempt to prove his innocence, 3T sold someone out, and in order to stick to his guns,
Yep.
Pushy has gotten himself deeper in a hole.
But not really. Because the evidence doesn't show Pushy there. But Pushy doesn't know that.
No.
Right.
Yeah.
I think Shield thinks he's about to get caught.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah. Roberta comes back in with a glossy photo of you and a glossy photo of Deutsche Synchro. And says, "Do you know this person?"
They've been to the bar.
They've been to the bar. Have you spoken with this person? Please understand, we're working with Brink Proxy, and we have access to their records.
I'm sorry, but I speak to a lot of people. I have a very busy establishment. We have a lot of events. If someone's been to the bar, I can assume that I've spoken to them.
You're suggesting that you have not had any extensive work alongside Deutsche Synchro?
Deutsche Synchro. No.
Mr. Pushy, I'm giving you one last opportunity before we escalate. We understand that it was an act of self-defense, and we are not Brink Proxy. But we are trying to identify whether or not there is a killer on board and who it might be. We know that someone was killed in your bar on the night of 3T's concert. We believe that you believe that that was an act of self-defense. We are trying to piece together whether that is true and whether we can connect anyone involved that night to the killing in the Devotion Hall.
Do you want to talk to me about the apocalyptic event that I'm trying to prevent, or do you need me to get a lawyer?
I need you to pick a side. Force someone to pick a side, literally or otherwise. Are you on the side of the Brink and the Twilight Mirage, or are you on the side of the killer running rampant on this station? I've heard what you've said. There is a cult. We know about the cult. We are looking into them. My predecessor was found in their hall. You've given me nothing new.
That you are investigating anything but the cult shows me that you do not understand the severity of the situation.
That I'm investigating anything but the cult. You think the cult is the only thing that goes wrong on this station?
It's the only thing
we are
that
at
matters that goes
war.
wrong.
There are
Why do you
agents
think that
from the
is?
greatest... not because of this cult.
It is specifically because of the cult.
The cult is not the divine principality. You're being a fool.
Where do you think
Where do I
3T
think
got the Mirage bombs?
you're saying they came from the cult?
Yes.
You didn't give me this. This is what I'm saying.
I literally have been sitting here trying to tell you.
So you're saying that what is the evidence that you have for this?
I have that. I just give it.
Do you actually have physical evidence of this?
Yeah, I have those.
You made that.
papers.
You made that. You took the papers.
took
Begins
the
to look
papers.
through them. Interesting.
General Morning comes out of her office and just stands in the doorway and gestures to Roberta to be like, "Yep, keep going. I'm just listening."
How long do you believe that Tanager has been working with or for the divine devotion?
I heard rumors going back
Not rumors. We know rumors. What do you know?
over a month,
Over a month.
at least.
Now I have to think, what has Tanager told them about what Tanager's done? Did we say on screen what Tanager had debriefed with Morning? Or had
We did
Morning
not
not
say that
answer? Did
on
Morning not
screen.
ask those questions?
No, not on screen.
Yeah.
I'm probably in the conversations that they had had. We know that Morning knows that Tanager incited the. She
Yeah.
came to his studio saying, "This is what you've done."
Yes.
And I wonder if in the subsequent, well, it all happened coincidental. It happened at the same time as the concert. So I think that
An important thing is Tanager doesn't know Devotion made those bombs. That's what I'm tripping
No.
over. Tanager
Right,
got them
yes.
from Decario Decario, who is his
CPH
lover.
Ambassador Blaze.
Yes, and is actually part of exactly. Yes, so
There's like a triangle here of who knows what.
exactly, and so that means he couldn't have preemptively said, "Oh, I got those from blah blah blah." So this is a revelation. And so I think Roberta continues this line of questioning and says, "What do you know about devotion?" Because understand, what we have seen breaks no law.
I'm just thinking of if I have anything. I mean, they're kidnapping people.
They're not. They're not
Let's be
kidnapping
honest.
people. They're not. People are going to their things and coming back a few days after.
Yeah.
That's not a kidnapping.
Well, they're causing a lot of people to be reported missing.
Yes, but that's not a crime. No one's gone missing. Everybody's come back, right?
I meant to cue this up beforehand and just sort of whiffed, but I meant that selling out 3T at the very beginning to be selling out one of your regulars to protect yourself. Which is a weak move that I have.
Yeah, you could take that definitely feels like a thing to get a token.
Okay. Okay. So, do I have any evidence that they've committed an actual crime? I don't think I do. I mean, I gave them the Mirage Bomb thing, which seems like a crime to me.
Divines have lots of latitude. Unfortunately. Divines are walking weapons. What 3T did is a crime.
But if he was working with them, then they also did it. They did the same crime. They all did it together.
We will investigate whether 3T was working with them. From what
Okay.
we have seen, 3T was working with primarily the Orchard Syndicate and with a close confidant of his. Regardless,
this
if
is
he
maybe
was the one
cheating.
moving those bombs into trucks, then it is those people and not the Divine who will be held accountable.
I want to go a little bit further than I did with my weak move from the Paris scene. No, I don't know if I can do that. I'm like wanting someone to do something but not allowing myself to say the thing that I would need to say to get anybody to like really listen. I think all I've done is make them a little bit more sure that 3T is causing problems.
I think
on
that
the
is exactly
station.
right. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
I think you've written 3T's arrest warrant here.
Yeah. Okay. I'm going to and I think also Pushy doesn't like understand devotion, like doesn't like know what
No, yeah,
devotion wants. I don't like have motivations. I don't know. Like I guess it's vague. Like I vaguely would understand that devotion is behind the push to get us into war with the Divine Principality. Maybe I just give up, or maybe I spend. I'll spend my token. I'm gonna spend my token. To say just the right thing to soothe someone's troubled mind and open them up to change.
What is the thing, and what is the change you're hoping to pursue, or get them to pursue?
I want to convince Roberta that they need to be actively working against the influence of the
Last time,
yeah.
we are reconnected.
Okay.
So yeah, what is the thing that would... I mean, I don't know that her mind is that troubled, personally, because in her mind, we are investigating devotion, because that was where we started investigating.
Yeah.
If anything, the thing that's happened that right now, the thing you've convinced her of is 3T was trying to take the fall for, or sorry, that 3T was trying to cover up his own involvement by throwing
throwing me under the bus.
By throwing you under the bus and by suggesting that it's not the cult, right? But in fact, it's increasingly like, oh, he's like playing along to try to like make it seem as if it's not him, you know?
Yeah.
So I don't know that her mind is actually even troubled at this point.
Okay.
This feels like it makes sense, and that what they're going to go do now is double down on the investigation on 3T and continue their investigation of devotion.
All right. I have it.
Okay.
To say. There are cameras in Pushies that will show me, 3T, and Deutsche Synchro moving a dead body that 3T and I found after his concert. Deutsche Synchro says that they killed this person in self-defense. we believed her. This is not an important crime. You need to stop worrying about that and start worrying about the fact that you think that you are on a case, but you are actually on a path to the destruction of the Twilight Mirage.
By the divine devotion,
Yes.
who you are saying is attempting to spread the mirage,
Yes.
but aims to destroy it.
Yes.
Huh. And you can confirm that you and Tanager and Synchro hid a body.
It's all on the tape.
Do you know whose body that was?
No. Wait.
It was
I'm
a
thinking
shitty.
back.
It was a shitty Orion businessman.
I do know that.
Hmm.
I'll say it if I
Sylvie?
know. Like whatever is
Yeah,
true
yeah.
about what I know, then I'll say.
Yeah.
It was a. We kind of described him as a loudmouth, like
Yeah.
sort.
Very obnoxious, I think, was what we were going for when we described this guy.
Was this
Real-
the fruit stowaway?
No,
No.
no.
Okay.
This was a Stella Ryan businessman, executive,
Okay.
a shitty executive here, who was one of Deutsch's targets.
Yeah.
Yeah. So whatever I know about that,
So you
I'll
say shitty businessman from
shitty businessman
from the prince
Orion.
from Orion. If you remember any more information about that person, tell us. Please remain seated for a few minutes. We'll send someone in for a final debrief. Help yourself to the refrigerator. And stands up and takes the papers that you gave her out the door, locking eyes with Morning. And then someone comes and is just like, can you fill out this questionnaire to make sure that your experience being interviewed was not terrible?
Yeah. I give mostly 3s, I guess.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
It goes up to 14.
Okay, then I give mostly 4s and 5s.
Damn.
God, okay.
All right.
I would like to do a minor scene in which I secure passage.
Mm.
I am going to spend a token. I can spend tokens in a minor scene? I think I can.
Yeah. Definitely.
To ensure safe passage to Moonlock and to my cousin. But in terms of being honest to the circumstances by which I got this, I don't think I have been able to get a confirmation from my cousin
Sure.
that they
Yeah.
will be able. I've sent a message, but it's like when you're waiting for like you have an important deadline and you need someone to get back to you about the thing, and eventually you're like, okay, fuck, I'm just gonna
I got to do my part of it. Yeah.
And so I think we see. And Paris hasn't told. Oh God, has Paris told them this? What is more?
Mm.
I think if we are being honest, Paris has told them. Paris seems like
Yeah.
he would take the consequences, and they're bad. It is an acrimonious parting. in terms of like, this is what you promised.
promised
this
us.
is where you've
Yeah,
fallen
yeah.
through.
Yep.
What? So you're just shipping me off with no, where am I going to sleep?
You have
And
like
Paris is
a-
look, the answer might be my cousins.
Do you have like a fruit basket?
Yes, I have a basket of. It was originally a basket of blue oranges, but everybody was. Paris
Sick of
brought a
them.
basket of blue oranges, and False Fruit said, "Fuck off! I don't." Absolutely not. And feeling so bad about the next thing he was about to tell them, Paris went to the market next door to the dock and bought a second fruit basket.
Unbelievable.
And it's just, I think they get to a point, as we have often seen with False Fruit in Paris, where there's just sort of like begrudging, like, well, yeah, good luck to you. Yeah, well, good luck to you. And they sort of mean it in their hearts, but it's like, okay. Into
Yeah.
the ship. This captain's going to take you to Moonlock. As the ship goes out, it passes one of General Morning's fleet on a patrol route. It is flown out a certain distance by one of the golden ships, and then
like,
passes.
yeah. That's a good scene.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Tanager. Whew.
Oh, buddy.
Anyone want to kill Tanager?
Oof. Is this a vote or a volunteer?
No, Tanager can live. I'm happy for Tanager to live. I'm curious if Tanager does feel like a loose end for anyone still itching to escape the ever closing,
Jaws.
jaws of General Morning and Co. Whether that's Pasodoble or Synchro or Decario or someone else from the Orange Syndicate or the Ghost or... but also, there's a version of this all that ends with Tanager spending this token to sway an audience into impassioned action or to diffuse a tense situation with humor and beauty and like being like a positive force. It just doesn't feel like what we've set up,
It could be Tanager being like, all right, the Vanguard has gone out. Time for the rig. I need another crew of people to go and attack Palisade.
Exactly. No, I think at this point, I have to think again. I have to look again. Visionary and confident and powerful leader. Does he want to find out for himself? I think that's okay.
Find out for himself what? Because that
He-
might be what.
He wants to go see Devotion face to face.
Oh, he wants to go see Devotion.
Uh-huh.
I was thinking if 3T was going to die anywhere, I think the most fun place to die would be on the front lines fighting.
Fighting the Principality. No.
Regretting a bunch of decisions about.
No, he would die happy doing that. That would be
Yeah,
that
you
would be
think
great.
so?
They're coming to
might be
kill us,
interesting
Keith.
Yeah,
Like it's
They have
not like it is true that the point of the road to Palisade is charting the course of them coming to kill everybody here.
But there is
So he would be
still
happy to
something
die
that
fighting.
happens to you, I think, when
Maybe.
you are
For some
in
people,
intense
yeah.
pain.
Totally. But
Bleeding out.
We do know too many stories of people who are like that devoted to this. That like, yes, it feels
It is
terrible, but 3T we've painted as this like absolute diehard, and I don't want to undercut him by saying he's fake.
Okay, but I wouldn't. 3T feels like very intense, but also very naive to me. And
in
Agreed.
certain ways.
Yeah.
yeah,
I
just wouldn't. He just seems like someone that to me would have like lost all the heat in the face of.
Listen, it's important that one of the things I gave him was battle scars because I wanted to make it
That's
very clear that he's had life beyond the brink, and in those times has gotten into shit. I don't think he comes from a particularly nice place. I don't think he comes from a place that is like he comes from Mirage, but he comes from a Mirage where he would have ended up with battle scars, right? And that's, I think, follows him forward, which is why I think in this moment he is in the depths of the ship trying to find Devotion, which I think is taking action, leaving yourself vulnerable. Where is devotion?
Like here or in general? Because I don't think the
What
main
is there
body
a
of it
is there a
here.
portal, not a literal portal? Is there a where would Pasadoble speak to devotion? You know? What is there like an elusive man style weird hollow room? Is there a weird pool of vertical water that vibrates and appears as devotion? Is there a place on the station I can stand where devotion will speak in my blood?
I think it's on the ship where the retreat takes place, and there is a specific place where the sky will open up and devotion will speak to you.
All right. I go there. I think I'm spending this token to find that place, which is like either introduce a fervent supporter ready to act or sway an audience into... I think it's introduce a fervent supporter ready to act. Someone I met at the retreat was like, I saw devotion once. Do we have devotion pronouns?
I don't think devotion is the type that
Takes
like,
any.
Yeah, or like is picky about it. You know,
Gotcha. So in fact, does take any.
Yeah,
Use what
literally
you
will
need.
take any.
Use what you need to show me love. Right.
Exactly. It's mostly just the feeling behind it than it is the actual language.
And then they're like, yeah, I saw him in the sky. Like whoever this was, someone I met that first night or that morning, and I'm calling on that person to lead me there. And I'm like, I've gone off, my whatever my futuristic ankle bracelet is going off at this point, right? So Morning's office knows that I am not in the studio anymore, and like I don't know what the map looks like, but I'm like beeping all through the station until I get to the forests, and then like as soon as I go into that lock, I disappear. That airlock.
Yeah.
And I go to that place, and I like I lay down on the grass and look up and like try to find devotion in the sky.
Would you like to? Like,
I don't know.
do this?
Yeah. You tell me.
So I know what it looks like when it notices you. When the sky opens up, I have this idea. I'm going to link an image here. I'm going to talk about capillaries and stuff, but it's not gory or anything. I just think that when this rift in this sort of ritual sky opens, it opens like this. And then within each of those little gaps of the capillary, there's like a pupil of an eye.
Yeah. This rules.
Yeah. And I think there's a moment where it like each of these little eyes blinks for a second before they are all staring at you. And there's a feeling of like, there's a feeling of warmth and also a feeling of it's like expecting, like it's wondering what you've brought it here for.
Can you hear me?
You don't hear a voice. You just feel the response of course. I can hear all of you. As sure as I can hear as sure as I can feel your pulse. That's what it says, actually.
I am worried that I did it wrong.
Did what wrong?
I know where we have to get. I don't know if... What if I derailed us? What if I...
It's a very weird sensation when you feel something laughing in your bloodstream.
Yeah.
Like in your pulse, like there is like a feeling because a lot of this is not directly like spoken language.
No, yeah,
is
yeah.
What's happening here? The thing that it communicates is like devotion itself. Like one person is not enough to derail it, no matter what. Like
it's
no
not
matter
one
what actions
person.
you've taken.
It's. I don't understand why we're all not unified on this thing. They see one dead person and they think, I don't know if they're going to come for you. I don't know if they're going to come for me. I don't know if they're coming for Decario.
There is like a feeling of let them come. Are like there is like what can they do in the face of us? But I think also, oh fuck, I had something I was gonna say and then I lost it. Oh, why are we not uniting people? Was what I was going to respond to, and I think that if you the feeling that like devotion gives you here is like as a you can't force the ties that bind us together or else they'll become manacles. Like you can't we can't make everyone connected just by saying we want to or by forcing them to. They have to come to us, and if they don't, we will have to like weather that. But we have to trust in the chain that we've built.
But wasn't I forcing us? Wasn't the point that we'd sat on our hands too long, and even if I did have to bring people by chain into the right action, it would be better than waiting until the principality came. And I want to be clear, 3T is not saying wasn't that our plan together. This is 3T saying that was I wrong for what I did?
Yeah. Gosh, speaking as a god is hard. No, I don't think I think just to sort of loop into the vision that not like specifically loop into the vision that Cheel had. It was Cheel that had that, right?
Yeah.
I get Pushy and Paris mixed up like everybody else.
Cheel's right.
That was Cheel. Okay, cool. I think just to like sort of tie that together, it's like you did what we thought we did what we predicted you would do. And there's nothing wrong with that.
And I think, go ahead. What were you gonna say?
No. I don't think I had anything else unless you've got more.
I think he just asks directly, how many people is it gonna cost to win this?
More than you could fathom, child. And it closes its eyes and leaves.
Uh-huh. I think he just lays there and lets it, maybe mornings people come and find him. Maybe he finds his way back to the studio the next morning. But we'll see what happens in the next round, I guess.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
I
was gonna ask, were we gonna try and do were we gonna do a final round now, or
I think it's fair to say a huge shipment of blue oranges has been rendered resolved.
Mm-hmm.
Boop. the question is if we have resolution on this last one, which we might, but I don't know what that looks like. The residents have been disappearing, emerging days later as members of a strange cult.
And residents have been disappearing, emerging days later.
What's Mourning do, Jack? Not because Mourning doesn't get a big final, close off scene if we do end this here. So, given all that information, and in some ways, to talk about what happens to other people, we're going to need to know what Mourning gets up to here, right? Because it seems as if what Mourning has is, and I imagine this is what the conversation with Roberta and whatever the rest of that team looks like, is like, we now have Devotion built these bombs. Devotion used 3T to deliver those bombs, etc. We also have Deutsche Synchro killed Estelle Ryan, CEO or executive, as a different thing to pursue. I don't know what her resourcing is like, so I don't know if it is making a choice or if it is you could do both.
Yeah.
It might be you could do both.
It's also like not her job.
Right.
She's a general. She's here to.
Yep.
She's like, this is all. It's kind of Pushy was kind of onto something where he was like, you guys. I think she takes direct. I think her immediate action is she needs to at least temporarily secure 3T, THC Paso Decario, if
Gone.
she can.
Gone.
Gone. Speaking of gone, Deutsche Synchro. And I want to let Sylvie narrate that ahead of, like,
Right.
Put it this way. Mourning is now actively getting people out and returning with them. And she is going to... She has put out a call to 2 additional teams in Back on Choir. One is specialized in divines and what are divines? Do we know what the divines are doing, and what if they are doing something actively harmful? I don't know if they're priests or they are holy people or they are. I don't really know what divine intervention looks like. But they are now coming to the brink. And I think that she is also probably taking CTH Pasodoble, 3T, and Deutsch, if she can get her hands on her, back towards the center of the Twilight Mirage for some sort of justice. Essentially doing that back in the center of the Mirage rather than it all happening at a remove on the brink.
Where it seems... Devotion doesn't have de facto more literal authority here, but does have a bunch of ships where they are, where people are living and eating and doing daily life stuff.
The Erlen Light Squad or whatever, who specialize in divines, are definitely coming out to the brink.
Yes.
And I imagine that, like, they do something like, they arrive quickly because Mirage ships, she can get the message out quickly and they come quickly. And they do something that immediately looks like when a house gets a termite tent around it. They drape the bridge. They drape the entire brink in some strange gauze or netting.
It looks like a lantern. It looks like a paper lantern now.
Yeah. Oh, yes. They inflate it around the brink. So first it's this folded thing, and then it's a big paper lantern around it. And they are not naive enough to be like, we have trapped the divine. But they are like, this will help us figure out what is going on, where the divine is, what kind of influence it can involve. To figure out what a squadron, the Erlen Light Divine Squadron, what their philosophy is too much for this episode, but they have showed up, and they've built a lantern around the brink.
If it's even there.
Yeah.
Right?
This is Phasmophobia going, is
it
in the basement?
Is it in the basement?
And you're
Yeah.
We
Sorry.
don't know that it's in the basement, but we've seen a lot of things happening in the basement.
Well, the thing that I'm saying is devotion. If Decaria was gone, devotion might be gone. The devotees might be here, but devotion may have done what it needed to do on the brink as a divine, right?
Very-
Because that's
yes,
Sylvie
very
said
possibly.
it disappears, right? And so like maybe they're, who knows?
Barking up the wrong tree.
Yeah.
Yep.
But
But
what
they'll
we
find something.
what we do know is yes, they'll find something. They'll find that it was making these bombs, presumably.
Yes, and they might get a better sense of kind of like what the scope of the divine is. Again, I don't know what this team is capable of. When I say scope, I mean, are they like, how big is this divine? How far can its influence be threaded?
Mm-hmm. What do they find out?
Sylvie?
Oh gosh. I don't know. Sorry, got put on the spot there.
No, we can figure this out.
Mhm.
I'm mostly curious
it's-
about like what's the takeaway here, because again, part of what my job is going to be is jump 6 months later.
Yeah.
Has devotion been stomped out? Has devotion become
Oh,
a
God,
schismatic
no.
new, like a counter authority to the Choir Coalition? Has it be, you know what I mean? And like I will make a
Yes.
decision around that stuff
Yeah.
because I'm going to need to, but I would love for that to be a collaborative decision and not a unilateral one.
Well, like, just from big picture perspective, I would love devotion to continue to be like
Oh,
a
yeah.
threatening faction going forward. So something that puts them either at odds with the Choir Coalition or seen as an alternative to them would work for me.
But
Yeah.
nevertheless, and this is this is the part that's tricky. A threat who is on the same side in the fundamental war on Palisade
Yeah.
Yes.
against the Divine Principality and the Curtain.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, it's like they can detect it in the mirage everywhere. Or, they can feel the particles of it. It is there in the nebula with them. It's like two predatorial fish swimming in the same water, never quite knowing how close they are to the other.
Fucking Choir Coalition reinvents the Rapid Evening and their Eclipse Squadron or whatever.
The Heresy Squadron.
Yeah, the Heresy Squadron. Yes. God. Terrible. But presumably other divines, not every divine is involved in this, in devotion scheme, as far as we know. So, I mean, we do know arbitrages now. And maybe that's part of this that's hard, right? Is with arbitrage's help, it's that much easier for things to disappear, to get assets into hiding, to bribe people, to cover things up. Right? It's like to simply
Totally.
hide behind resources.
Or even at certain times to play the old 3T Deutsche Synchro pushy trick of just being like, yes, there was a divine here. It was the divine arbitrage. And the squadron's like, okay. We found the divine. We don't need to look for another one.
Right, totally. All right,
I
well,
almost brought up the other one too, but I didn't.
right, arbitrage, right, yeah. All right, final round of short scenes, given all of that. Who has a feeling for a scene, for a minor scene in that context?
I have one. I think I figured out how to wrap
Yeah.
up on that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I think that with the situation escalating, she's started plans to get extraction. So she's like cleaning up. She doesn't have a lot of things on the brink itself, but she's like tying up some loose ends. And I think we just like see her in like her workspace, making sure that like the way she communicated with the curtain is like disabled and stuff like that. And she's about to leave, and when she turns around, we see Gimme Gimme in the doorway, and that's cut there,
Cut
and we don't know
there.
what happened.
Love that. That's fun.
Yeah.
All right.
Paris is preparing for the cycle end feast. It is a very busy time for a fruits and vegetables broker. It is 3 o'clock in the morning, waking up, and 11 o'clock midnight, going to bed, making sure everything's in place. Feeling kind of weird about pushies. Always has kind of like weird emotions. Showing up at pushies to be like, here are the limes, or whatever. Keeps trying to contact his cousin, and has been getting into, after a while. No, I don't think he hears back from his cousin. We know that communication is fast enough that his cousin could get back if he wanted to, but
Yeah,
I imagine that his
just
cousin
doesn't.
is mad. But it's like, every so often rationing comes into effect because of the increased tensions, and then it eases as new stuff comes in. The refugee situation is kind of weird after Paso Doble got taken. Lots of hungry mouths to feed. But yeah, doing the work of being a greengrocer as the festival approaches.
I think Mustard's is pretty straightforward and also can move the timeline a bit. I think that we see her moving into a new office with her own vending machine. I think
Wow. Oh,
the
boy.
connection with
Oh, brother.
She deserves it. She did the work.
She did the work. She made the connections. I think the audience can recognize some like faces and bring proxy that were at the
At the
culture
retreat. Oh.
God.
I think that she's like setting boxes down the magazine, and the screen goes black.
We've
and then
we've
people are-
reconnected.
People are like, "Ooh, I think my cable dropped."
I got one. I don't know where I'm being kept for the arms manufacturing and not dealing, but using. We haven't talked about what the equivalent of, I suspect that Twilight Mirage has maintained its relationship of being against poor carceral justice programs, being interested in rehabilitation and fundamentally safety, but not in a security theater safety way, not in a we believe the only way to keep people safe is to quote unquote keep criminals locked up, etc., but in an actual like, how do we maintain the this community and etc. That said, I suspect simply in terms of the number of things they need to talk to 3T about, and probably fear of some sort, he is not allowed a lot of mobility outside of, like, he is not allowed. At some point, they draw a line about how far he can go and what he can do.
Down.
Right. I guess I don't want to speak for Morning, but I think it's out of Morning's hands at a certain point, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, she wasn't kidding when she said that her patience was running out in terms of what she was supposed to be here to do. And I think past a certain point, she went, all right, okay, this is not my purview anymore.
Right. And like in the restorative justice model, it's difficult because the victim is either no one or literally everyone in the Mirage.
In the Twilight Mirage.
Right. In the sense that 3T made a decision about their proximity to war that they did not make. And as such, it is not like he can meet with one person and be, come to some feeling of resolution or justice. And in fact,
like-
many people still agree with him. So it's not even like there is. It is not as simple as that. And in fact, my image here is not as. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, and this is where it dovetails with General Mourning, right? In terms of talking about the fact that people agree with 3T and go, 3T didn't do anything wrong, is where this is part of the questions that General Mourning is also talking about, right? Of like, who is speaking for whom here?
Right.
So maybe she flies back to Choir for a certain period or whatever. You know?
Not Choir. Choir doesn't exist. Choir is not one of the planets of the system.
She flies back to
Seneschal? Skane? I don't know.
Skane.
Yeah.
Isn't it Skane?
There's a bunch of them. Skane is where
the base was.
I don't remember. I think we said of her Seneschal's brace. But Skane is where the first the new wave of Choir arrived and started building a government, or many governments really. Many communes really. Anyway, none of that's the image in my mind, because my image is mostly 3T is 3T is limited in terms of what he can do directly at this point. But I don't know, I don't think this is behind plate glass. It might be an observed meeting with Decario. And 3T signs some papers and transfers some files. And the next week, the Divine Comma Arbitrage ensures that there is a new 3T single released all across the Mirage. And it's not, and it just keeps happening, right? There's 3T the person, and then there's Tanager the person, and then there's 3T the brand. And 3T the brand is a wonderful, terrible echo of our Aria Joys, right? Of that style of, musical embodiment of the war, the war drums, And I don't even know that 3T does it in a way. We don't have to zoom in on that conversation, but 3T is made to feels guilty as he does it. Not guilty because, partly guilty because he thinks it might be the wrong thing to do, but guilty because he feels like he failed to achieve what he wanted to achieve and is made to feel that way by Decario. Right? Decario plays on that feeling of like, you had one chance to get this right and you fucked it up. Let us run with what you got because you can't do it anymore. And other than that, we don't see much of him as a person in this final scene. What we see is like, a new 3T video or whatever, a new 3T hologram metaverse bullshit that Arbitrage makes. 3T is at the VMAs. 3T is also on house arrest. Right. 3T is on TikTok as a VTuber, but not even him.
No!
It's not even actually him. Shield.
Yeah. I think unless Chiel's getting in trouble for admitting to hiding a body that there's no evidence of him doing.
No, it doesn't seem like it.
Chiel
was not brought back to Center of Mirage, right?
I don't think so. I think that they teased out pretty quickly that Chiel was being swindled.
Right.
Because that is at the end of the day, the thing that I was guilty of was not reporting that someone else had committed a murder or some sort of crime.
Yeah.
There were a lot of lengthy, unpleasant conversations.
Yeah. Especially when they found out that there was no evidence of me doing this. Why did you tell us you were on this video?
Yeah.
So when Devotion's no longer on Brink, right?
It seems
Zoe's-
like the divine might
Oh.
not be, but the devotees
The cult
are
is still-
definitely.
Yeah.
Are they still checking their pulses all
Yeah.
the time? Okay,
Yeah, for
It's
sure,
like I thought maybe
right?
proximity to.
No,
The
there's still like the devotion like still has reach. It's just not physically here.
Okay. So I think Pushy's doing just back to having relatively normal weeks, except for every once in a while waking up and feeling the vines on my back beating
Hmm.
in sync with my heartbeat.
Cool. Good.
And that is scary. And I don't know, maybe I get rid of them, or maybe I find out that so are all of the vines on the station beating.
On that pulse. All right. That has been Orbital by Jack Harrison, of course. Whew, we did it. We got to the end. It's stressful.
A lot has happened. A
A
lot
lot
has
has
happened.
happened.
Yeah.
A lot has happened.
We said, hey, what happens when the principality encounters the Twilight Mirage?
Oh.
And the answer is, it's quite tricky.
Mm.
It's pretty
Yeah.
intense. And the
5
principality
sessions
was
is what happens.
barely on screen at all.
Oh, barely at all. Barely at all. Yeah.
Barely at all. Yeah, when this started, I was like, we were doing the first one, and I was like, this is definitely going to be 3 sessions at the beginning. And I thought that was me being like, I bet everyone else thinks it's going to be 2 sessions, but I know that this is going to be 3.
God.
And I was wrong by almost half.
God. All right. I think that's going to do it. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm very tired and I should eat dinner.
Yeah, that's important.
Time does not change us. It just unfolds us.
True.
Thanks,
Who
Max.
said that?
Max
Paper
Frisch.
Mario.
Frisch. Paper Mario said it. It was Paper Mario.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Swiss playwright and novelist.
Mario.
Paper
Yeah.
Mario.
Rudolph Frisch.
Yeah, he's Swiss, but not a lot of people know that.
That was
Swish,
the
frish.
original tagline of Super Mario Brothers.
He's Swiss.
Mario.
He's Swiss.
Swiss.
Oh, God.
Mario and Luigi, 2 Swiss brothers.
Yeah. What's so hard to believe about this?
All right.
We clap at 20.
Yes.
Sounds good.
I lost it. Okay, here we go. I missed it.
You missed it, Keith?
Yeah.
30.
30.
Why did you say here we go?
Here we go is me fine. Whoa, what's wrong?
Nothing. No.
Okay, here we go is me finding the tab and being all the way scrolled down on the page, not me getting to the time.
Mm-hmm.
And then I said here we go, not realizing that we were 1 second away from 20.
God. Have a good night, everybody.